And we're live. Welcome back.
Welcome to the Brockton Bay Book Club. Again for another hot Tuesday night. We are raining out. It is cold. It is dreary. We are lonely in the library. Shootings all around. I've got my podcast juice. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Shooting.
Yes.
Ready?
Welcome to the Brockton Bay Book Club. We are a group of friends that have decided to go through Wild Bow's Ward by J.C. McCrae. Web serial for superpowers. It is a sequel to the web serial Worm. If for some reason you've never, ever read it before, you really should, because that's what we'll be talking about tonight. And
Yeah, what the fuck
we
you
are
doing here?
reading arc 10.1 through 10.9, splitting it up because it's a big, hefty arc. I believe it is about 50,000 words for the section we are reading. As always, you should subscribe to our Patreon. And you may ask, what do you get on our Patreon? First, you get a chai tutorial video, which I just posted about 20 seconds before this went live. And I made about 20 seconds before that. And other things, you get exclusive video content that might actually be interesting to you. And on top of all that, you get to do bingo with us. We have a bingo sheet that we post that's in the link just below, and you can contribute to that as a Patreon member to help us figure out what we are going to play bingo with this week on the podcast. But like I said, for those of you who aren't patrons, link in the description. You can go ahead, sign up for Patreon, or just play bingo with us now live.
We got bonus content.
Maybe you play it
We've
later.
got a Discord.
Oh my gosh,
it's all
I've got
the
a
things.
Discord.
That's true.
Come hang out.
So much.
Yeah, look, one of our patrons just said, chai. You're gosh darn right.
Look at that. That could be you.
Oh, so
Yeah.
tasty.
Could be
It's a
you.
tasty treat. Good podcast juice. All right, well, as usual, no spoilers in chat. If we do, I want to see lots of TTs for Tattletales. Let's see. But I think we're ready to go. We're pretty quick to the draw. So, starting off. Oh, I forgot to introduce everybody. How dare
There
I?
you go. Who
How
are
dare-
we?
Who am I?
are we?
I'm sorry, I'm unreasonably warm since taking
enigma.
this drink of chai, which is great because it's rainy as hell out.
Yeah.
You have any alcohol in your chai? Just
No,
just
I
asking
run
for a
on
friend.
podcast juice, and I run on the patrons. Their
thrill of-
energy gives me energy. It's like the
Oh.
Hong Moon or whatever from K-pop Demon Slayers. I'm that giant fiery thing, and like I'm just being fed souls. That's how this works. And the more
Ah.
souls that
I was
feed
thinking it
me,
was
the
like an-
more wild I get.
See, I was thinking it might be like an energy vampire thing. Like
Yeah.
what we
I mean,
initially
oh,
had.
In a sense, but
Don't
In a
add 'em.
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Ah.
don't give him
All right.
ideas.
Anyway, speaking of ideas, the people with the big ideas here that we'll
Yeah.
be talking my other co-hosts. We have Hannah,
Hello.
Jacob,
Yellow.
Nick,
Hello there.
our seducer/producer Michael,
Heyo.
and of course I'm hot on the mic, Alan, with my cup of chai.
Welcome.
So let's get into it.
Adorable.
do it.
What did y'all think overall about the first half of this arc?
The issue with, and obviously we knew it was going to be the case. The issue with like splitting the arcs up is that we don't get the resolution of what the little arc is building to, which was a lot easier in Worm because the arcs were a bit shorter and more condensed.
Yeah.
You could build the whole little, story together. And now he's doing 100,000+ word arcs, and so we just kind of lose that. Not really a critique. It's just sort of hard to like, we finished 0.9 and it's like, oh, but there's so much more coming right around the corner.
Right. And I'll just a slight spoilers, but the next one is an interlude too.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, we didn't get any interludes this
Yeah,
time.
no
which
interludes.
I
You get
don't think I realized how much I miss a good interlude. I was actually just reading a totally different book, and it had interludes from the perspective of other characters in the book, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love this. Like Wild Bill did it first, but well, I mean, I don't know, but I love that. And so doing this read through without one was kind of weird. didn't really
Yeah.
like.
I'll tell you
that.
right now, there is on top of the running word count by chapter, put together by username the White Squirrel on Reddit, which is what I use for my
Shout
word
out.
count thing. They also did an entire subsection for word count by viewpoint. All of the characters who get a
interesting.
viewpoint, including and marked whether they get a full interlude chapter or not, and then
Wow.
totals them all together. There are, just in interludes, 565,549 words of just interludes in this.
Wow.
And then
Which,
it literally
honestly,
does it by character.
That's
That's a
impressive.
breakdown.
Yeah.
What a project. Well done to that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow. Yeah, I'd agree with that. What Jacob said. Not only is it not, the interludes are nice to sort of break up the monotony, and as well as, like he said, I feel the rise in the conflict, and we're like at the tipping point, but we don't quite get to see the resolution of where it's headed. It's sort of like, the whole pacing of the book is kind of like a roller coaster, but we're just on the upward climb part of the roller coaster, and so we don't quite get the fun part, the drop at the end of like, oh, that's what this was all leading to. Nice, that was great. We're just
Yeah.
kind of in the steady climb, but there's some great moments along the way. I think there's some funny moments more than anything, and obviously some very great reunions of characters that we like seeing again. So I'm happy to see how everything will work out.
Heck yeah.
I like anytime there's downtime.
Hmm.
Anytime we're vibing is so much fun, and the interpersonal relationships between the characters of this team is really fun for me, and I really like that. So the beginning part, especially the first half of this arc, the first half of this arc, I really enjoyed. I felt it was really fun. I did feel a little lost once we got into some of the paperwork, as it were, just feeling like I wasn't 100% sure why we're doing what we're doing, or like, okay, all right. So, yeah, I think without the rest of this arc, it feels a little not empty. I actually really did enjoy this arc. This is making it sound like I didn't. I'm just a little low energy today, but like I'm excited to read the second half of the arc, I guess I shall say. It's just like I'm looking forward to what the resolution is, what some of the thought process is behind some choices that were made, or like what the team is trying to do, and like what the end result is going to end up being. Like, this is a lot of setup. I'm ready for the payout.
Yeah, very much so.
All right. Any other thoughts before we move in?
Let's get it.
All right.
No,
I
I
for
think
one
we're
really
good.
enjoyed a lot of this arc. I agree that, like, it's a lot of setup to what we don't know. And this is one of those things where I think would be really interesting to, I mean, kind of difficult, but go literally chapter by chapter how they were released over 2 years.
Mhm.
That would require us to be like meeting like Tuesday, Thursday, for
Yeah.
like 30 minutes at a time to talk about, every single chapter or something.
Mhm.
Right.
Which would certainly be an interesting way. And I'm curious for any patrons, if they have any insight on how they felt reading chapter by chapter upon release, if they have any thoughts on that. Either, say it live, or if you have more thought out, ideas, writing that to us in our Patreon Discord, that would be
Or in chat
helpful.
right now, also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either or.
Or
Because
in
I
the
know I
comments
read
below the video
a
if you're watching
little,
later.
Mhm.
and it was certainly a different experience. So yeah, call it the Brockton
Yeah.
bits. That actually not a
That's-
terrible idea, Ian Flag.
That's good. That's good.
TM.
No, I
Um,
haven't read. I never read this when it was coming out, but I've read stuff as a serial. Like I used to be into reading Naruto, and I was reading Shippuden as it was coming out. So every Friday it'd be like new chapter uploaded, and it was kind of the opposite problem where there's like manga takes so long to create that there's a dearth of content. It's like you wait a week for 15 pages at most.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're still in the middle of the same fight scene. So it's an interesting experience. I imagine it would have been interesting with this too. I almost think it would have been harder though. Like there's some part of what keeps me going is having the complete thing and being able to be like, because there are some of these chapters where like individually they just do not hit for me, but like as a whole, the whole thing works.
Mhm.
So I don't
Right.
know. I imagine it'd be an interesting experience.
Yeah.
Is all I'm trying to say.
Once again, to be contrarian, I think this has some of not my favorite, but some of my most easily digestible chapters that I've read, and a lot of things that I really enjoy more than most of the rest of the story that we've read so far. But that's just my taste running contrary to everybody else's again. All right. Let's start. Nick, if you wouldn't mind getting us into 10.1.
10.1. Sveta and Vicky visit and discuss Amy with the Dallin parents. The two of them get pissed. They leave and meet up with the rest of the team, plus Damsel and Aaron, for a shopping trip. And if Fuck Carol is on the bingo card, that's a free
Yeah,
space.
I'll just check that off
'cause
there.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, let's just hone in on this whole
Goodness.
thing.
Ah,
All right, so
She-
him.
yep.
Almost
Let me-
redeemed.
I just want to get the complete picture here, right? Just of Carol's journey with Amy. We know from Carol's interlude from back in Worm,
Mm-hmm.
she did not want Amy.
Right.
Growing up, Amy always felt unwanted, unloved, which is part of why she became a sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
Then Amy ruins Victoria's life, escapes to the birdcage, and the Dallin parents now are like, oh no, we screwed up. So I get the guilt that Carol must be feeling, thinking, wow, Mark, we really messed Amy up. Do you think maybe we'll ever get a chance to try again? And so now her energy is, Victoria, we should help Amy, right? You would agree she's a messed up person and needs help, right? And Victoria's like, no, Mom, I'm a messed up person because of her. And it's
Yeah.
it's
Pretty
hard
much.
because I can imagine. I'm as a parent, if you have two kids, I can't imagine not loving one of my kids, so I'm going to ignore that part that Carol struggled with. But
Jesus.
I can imagine the difficulty of having one kid who's an abuser and one kid who's the abused. I cannot fathom what that would be like to go through as a parent, because the love for both of your kids would make you want to do certain things for each of them. I think the difference though is you leave them separate, right? Like you separate those loves in a way. You don't explain to the abused what you're doing to help the abuser. You sort of leave them separate if you can. But I don't know. Like, would the abused child then feel, if they find out what you're doing, would they feel like, oh, you've betrayed me? Like, so I can understand the moral quandary and dilemma. It's just that the way she's going about it is so
Yeah.
stupid. And to keep re-emphasizing it, I'm so glad Sveta was there, because that was just my like,
Yes.
heck yeah, Sveta. Thank goodness you're saying what Victoria
real.
wants to say but isn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I wrote down,
Anyways.
mom the fuck up. Could not
Yes,
say
oh
it
my
better
gosh.
myself. Like,
I thought that was phenomenal. Like as parents, like your job is to raise them with self-awareness and compassion and like like you're also supposed to teach them rules for life, and then discipline is part of that. Is like, hey, look, you lied to mom about eating your peas, you know, you stuffed them in your pocket, and now you're gonna have to eat your peas, squished lint pocket peas, sorry. Like just discipline shit as a parent, like, and this is not like there is no discipline for Amy. There is just, oh, well, you know, what she's been through. Like, that's not parenting. That's
Yeah.
not real parental love and care. Like, as a parent, you discipline your kids because you want to teach them personal responsibility, consequences, and like there's none of that is happening here. Like, we're just gonna
Yeah.
shower her with love because I guess that didn't work before, so I guess it will now. Like, what do you mean, Carol? What are you
Clearly,
doing?
Amy's just acting out, and if we show her the love we should
Right.
have when she was younger, she'll be fine again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that time is over. A lot of this reminds me of as I'm listening to like Reddit stories, um, that you have these stories about kids where the squeaky wheel child gets, you know, all the attention.
Yeah.
Because there's so much trouble to deal with, it is better that we make the child who's got their shit together suffer, because it's just and I get why. It's what Carol's striving for in this case. It's just cohesive family, cohesive family, cohesive family. And the reason she's so pissed off at Amy is because Amy, from the moment she was brought in, throws off the cohesive family unit. Like the perfect family that she wants. But Amy, for the most part, learns to be a hero, does the hero track, goes to school, like doesn't get in trouble. All that jazz. But then she upsets the family unit by like causing trouble for you know, messing with Victoria, you know. And of course Carol is pissed about that. And so she blames Amy for that. But then once our girl is back, once Victoria's back and she's capable of being part of the family, Amy's okay wanting to be part of the family, but now Victoria's the problem child because she doesn't want to be part of the family, which is why she's like, oh, but you shouldn't be the problem child. You should want this. Why are you making this so difficult? And, you know, it's the like, you know, Amy, you just gotta get over whatever it is. It's like, no, like, stop giving her the benefit of the doubt in every situation. Just, like you said, Nick, it's a separate issue that you need to deal with. Amy's a bad person, and you need to not have her near Victoria. And you're not going to have this whole circular family with no bumps sticking out. Amy's going to be, you can love Amy. You can have her still be a daughter to you and all of that, but you also still have to acknowledge that it is not healthy to have her and Victoria literally in the same room or group chat together. Like,
oh, for sure. Yeah,
you
and
know,
to your point about real life stories, I happened across a couple of book reviews of parents writing about the phenomenon of people our age, like millennials generally, basically telling their parents like they don't want to see them anymore, sort of abandoning their parents, right? And it feels a lot like that, where what these older parents are saying feels very unaware. They're like, well, I don't know why my
Yeah.
kids don't want to see me anymore, why
Oh
they
my
don't
Why
want
would
me around
they?
their kids
Why
now.
would they?
Like, I don't understand why they would do that. And that's exactly how Carol feels to me, is like,
It's the
well, I
fucking
don't
butterfly
understand.
meme. Is this
Yeah.
good parent-child
I don't
relationships?
understand why you're upset, Victoria, and I don't understand why Amy doesn't love us. We just need to do a little better and forgive each other, and we'll be fine. You know?
Now, I
Oh my
don't
God.
want to take blame away from Carol here because she deserves all the blame. Do we think that at some point Amy has in between times here, Amy could have or would have messed with her parents' brain?
Mm.
I
Because
mean,
sometimes I'm reading it and I'm just like, man, this is so heartless. It's not even realistic.
It's possible.
I mean, I hate to
I mean-
say this. I know parents like this who
Yeah.
their child sexually
heartbeat.
assaulted somebody and they ignore that happened. And I know a family that's like that.
Mm.
And that is like, and everyone pretends that it never happened. There's a lot of the word
hard to cope
alleged
with.
gets thrown around a lot. And
or
it's
a lot
like
of disguising language.
disguising language, yeah. And so, and very, loving family, loving parents, but still there's this idea that, and I think that maybe it comes into this idea, like, you don't want to think that you raised a monster. You don't want to think that somehow it's your fault, because even if let's just say that all of Amy's shit comes from them being bad parents to her growing up, because I think it's way more complicated than just that. But if it was boiled down to just the problem of them being shitty parents, then it would be their fault. I mean, I think it's much more complicated than that, and it's a lot more things than just them being shitty parents. But like, oh no, if it's that we were shitty parents, it couldn't possibly be that I was a bad mother. Carol Dallin, the hero, that I could be a bad mother, heaven forbid. So there must be some other thing going on. Like, it's so I think it's just like you can't possibly imagine that this person who grew up in your family could be capable of doing that. And so you don't imagine it because you don't think that it happened, or you sweep it under the rug because if it's under the rug, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, on exactly on that, it's, you hear all the stories about like you have a kid and all of a sudden they're an adult and you go like, man, every time I look at them, I'm just like, that's a child. Like, that's, the little kid running around, going to college, but they're still running around, like, losing things and everything. Just, you have this image of them because you grew up watching them trip because they had one shoe on because they lost their other shoe, and doing cute little kid things. And it's hard to take that image that's been ingrained for, I don't know how old Amy is, but let's just say 22 years.
Yeah.
And then take 22 years or 20 years of a child that you've raised and have images of them as a baby, and to take not just a moment, but in this case, a moment, and be like, oh, well, that trumps all of the history I have locked into my brain. There is a lot to overcome as a parent, or any connection with people where you've had for years, decades, and then you have to weigh that against something that happened that's, potentially 5 minutes, that is, not saying that you shouldn't overwhelm that, but I'm saying like chemically,
It's
that's
tough.
a really hard thing to do.
Hard.
I'd be curious too. Because I don't want to discount Jacob's theory entirely. I don't want to take away blame from Carol or just the situation in general or just Amy being a bad
All the
person.
blame to Carol.
But I
it could be-
but I do
yes,
love
yeah.
I do love the idea that intentionally or even perhaps unintentionally, as her passenger has gotten stronger, maybe has it created sort of a goddess-like aura where it slowly
Yeah.
touches
Ooh.
the minds of
Interesting.
people
Like
around
Dean.
her to make them like her more.
Like
Sort of like
Dean's
Dean
thing.
or yeah.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
almost
Sort of just
almost
this,
like the Wretch, kind of, in a way.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like maybe kind of it really was once she broke that barrier of touching brains and eventually even
Yeah.
went further with Taylor in Worm. What if it was just sort of this like she's gone too far and the passenger has too much power now, and it
Yeah.
just slowly is like leeching positive vibes to people around her
Yeah, because I don't think
and
Amy has the gall on
rewiring
her
their brain.
own.
I mean, it would explain
Yeah.
the Goddess situation. Like, who the fuck wants to, deal with Goddess? And Amy's like, a hot blonde that could step on me. I'll take one. And Goddess didn't immediately turn around and be like, "Ew, gross." Bop.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Amy,
we'll get
no.
to the goddess situation.
Yeah, we will. 'Cause boy,
Yeah.
howdy.
In a chapter.
Boy,
or two here.
howdy.
Let's
Uh,
move off of Carol and just
Wait,
touch on.
quickly.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to read chat because it's hilarious. Ian
Chat's
Flag
been
said,
fun. I've been enjoying chat.
Ian
today.
said, your job as a parent is to make sure that they have all the traits Amy doesn't have. Just to summarize
Yeah,
true.
things.
Yep.
Ian Flag is
true.
like popping off. I love it.
Yes.
Funny.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about Mark for a second because
Mark.
Mark's a little bit more complicated, I think, than
What
Carol.
about dad?
Yeah.
Because Mark
I think
has a
so, too.
lot of Carol's sort of like two directions and she's picked the worst path somehow down the middle. Mark is like Mark doesn't just have Amy and her to deal with. Mark has that his ex-wife, and the fact that he's trying to be a good person as opposed to Carol, who's clearly not. Carol just wants a whole family and
Yeah.
the appearance
what
of
she wants.
goodness. Mark, I think, genuinely wants goodness. And if I'm not mistaken, Mark is the one who's kind of dealt with like clinical depression his whole life as well.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Until he was
And
fixed.
wasn't Mark also who Amy healed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Her,
He was the
so,
first.
like,
He was the first brain thing
The
that
first
she
brain.
did. That was the damn breaking. It's
Yeah,
her
that
changing her
complicates
rule.
complicates his
For sure.
emotional involvement in all of this as
Yeah.
well, because he basically owes his life to Amy in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah.
He seems to be, as opposed to Carol, who's walking down a terrible path, he is like stumbling down the right path, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not good, like it's not graceful, it's not always straight and narrow, but he's getting I feel like Mark deserves more credit.
I mean,
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
meme. He's the math meme
Well, I
of the
think-
teacher. You used the wrong formula, but you somehow got the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like, right, if we go back to the beginning of Ward, where he was lied to by Carol of like, oh, I talked to Victoria and she's fine with Amy
Yes.
being there. And
Yeah.
him realizing after Victoria's freak out, like, dude,
Yeah.
Carol, you lied to me. Like,
Yeah.
and I think him reaching out and trying to fix that, I feel like he's made steps with Victoria to try to be better and try to understand, like, hey, what do you need as the
I
hurt
think so.
person in this quadrant? What can I do to support you? And I feel like I do wish he was better, but I give him a few points in the sense of he really is the one sort of trying to spin all the plates of like
That's I
trying to
agree.
keep Carol and Victoria from killing each other, trying to keep any semblance of relationship between himself and his ex-wife and his two daughters, trying to maybe find reconciliation if possible, but also understanding it may not be and trying to hear out Victoria's side. Like, I feel like you're right. He is kind of like stumbling forward into trying to be the right kind of dad. And I think I appreciate that. I can give him some points for that. I wish he had a bit more of a backbone, but
Yeah.
progress is
Yeah.
progress.
And you know
it
what?
feels like he's trying to peacekeep. Like he's trying to keep
Yeah,
everybody happy. Like he's trying to recognize that Vicky has all this trauma. He's trying to recognize that Amy is trying to, put out a hand or whatever. He's trying to recognize that like Carol wants this big happy family, whatever with everybody. And like also, did we not like say in past arcs that maybe they're like trying to get back together? Carol and Mark?
I think
Because
it's
it kind of feels
complicated.
like
It
that's
feels
what it-
complicated because they're not living
it
together.
feels like no. It feels like they got divorced. They were trying to do the like we're divorced, but we're still a cohesive family. They maybe hooked up, and then we're like, well, and then he was like trying to be the good guy. I was like, I'm gonna, we'll try it. Maybe we'll try, meh. And so like I agree. I think he is stumbling down the right path. But what you said, Nick, the backbone, like. I need you to not be lukewarm, my man. I need you to have a little
Yeah.
gumption of some
I'll-
sort.
I'll give, Mark, it is, I imagine that Carol has always been the dominant personality. So, but, yeah, as Cool World points out, Mark tells Sveta you're part of the
It's so
family, and Carol
funny.
immediately pisses Sveta off. Props to Carol for really treating Sveta like a daughter. How true.
So fucking funny. So fucking funny. Oh my god.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
what chat.
It
I
took
don't
me a
know what
second.
Drew's
Chat,
chat has
look,
been drinking,
chat-
but
chat-
chat is going off.
did the
It is
recipe.
Chat's always-
phenomenal.
Chat's
on-
I
on
love it. You
juice.
are all just
That's funny.
tonight.
They've always got it.
Just the funniest.
Also, Bernard said,
sweet
do you mean
baby.
flashbang? Do you think they flashbanged? Is that what you're saying?
Ah!
Hey,
Like it was quick and it was
Wait,
over and they were like,
hang
nah,
on.
no, we're not going to do that.
are you saying Alan, when you say that Carol was the dominant one in the relationship, are you saying it's a stereotype for a type A strong woman to get together with a type B depressed man? And that's just like a common stereotype?
You know,
I mean,
We
I
don't
didn't
have
say it.
we don't have time to cover that.
truthfully, here's the thing: is like we say that, but also like personality-wise, I'd be willing to bet that she's a bottom. So.
Carol?
Like it's just think about it. Strong, domineering type A personality who's a lawyer, 100% a bottom.
Okay, so
'Cause you
going
don't
back
want-
to Bernard.
Yeah.
Nope. Stop. Do you think Mark can guide and correct Amy to the right path, or would he just be an enabler?
I think he'd be an enabler.
Okay.
I think
I
he'd
think
want to smooth everything over too much, and he'd make more allowances for Amy than is right.
I don't think so. And here's I would like to chart out what's happened so far. I don't remember if we get confirmation, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say, because how much Carol likes having the family, that Carol was not the one to divorce.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah,
interesting.
I would agree with that. I think
I think
Mark
that
was
even
probably
was
the one that
said.
was
I
like,
think it was said
Yeah.
that Mark left.
Which means that Mark did have a moment where he said, "This is untenable. I can't do this anymore." So, props to Mark. He was the one that pulled the eject cord on that. So we'll start there. I think Mark does have a soft spot, not for Amy particularly, but for Carol, because she's, like this. I don't know. They were partners in everything for decades. Again, it's hard sometimes to break habits of like letting her be the one that talk, and you just kind of sit there and nod. And now he's got to be like, oh wait, no, I disagree with that. We're not a team like we used to be. No, this is not we will have this conversation later, but for now we need a united front. We have adult children that can deal with people disagreeing, and no, that's wrong. I think him acknowledging that like they really messed up with Victoria because they were not there all the time. And Sveta was, and he was like, you've earned this. You need a vacation. You can come to the beach house. You can do whatever. You take care of Victoria better than we did as a family as a whole. Like, absolutely, you're part of the family. He does a little bit let Carol go on too long, and Victoria notices that, and then he immediately, basically when they stands up, is like, yeah, I think this is good because Victoria's like, I think it was better. I forget what he noticed about Victoria, and she's like, oh,
like it sounds like Victoria needs a break from this conversation or something like that, something along those lines. But like that he recognized that she was uncomfortable. She did not want to be there anymore. It was stressing her out. Like he saw that.
And which is like look, this discussion, it's going to be tough to split this up and not have a sit down all the time. Obviously, that makes things more difficult. But, we're going to just have to do that because I recognize that that's what she needs. And then turns around and in front of Carol is like, also, if you just need something from me,
you and
I am a separate unit. And that pissed Carol off. And he knows it.
Good.
Fuck her. I think I don't know if he's like, even with the trying to touch her thing, once again, something that he was not aware of, if I remember right, was like, oh, we got some details, but that wasn't the story we heard. Like,
clearly he doesn't know all of everything, which what makes me wonder if Carol does and she's just not telling him, or if he's not getting all the information because he's not in contact with Vicky. But it sounds like to me, like, as things are coming out, he's hearing like the condensed version from Carol about like, oh, well, and he's like, oh, okay. I'm finding out later, like, oh, that's not what happened, actually. There was more to it.
As Fran points out, Amy did say, and I remember this from the interlude, like Mark tried to be a dad to her, but his depression really got in the way of that.
Yeah, it's really tough to like pour out into other people when you are completely empty inside. Like,
I think going back to the question, I don't think he'll be an enabler to Amy, but I also don't think he'll be able to get her on the right path because it's still her choice. He'll just
I agree.
try.
I agree with that.
He could open all avenues. He could say, "Hey, honey, come back, get therapy, get help," and she's just gonna be like, "No," and he's gonna be like, "Well, the offer's open," like, and she's like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
Victoria," and he'll be like, "No, not to see Victoria.
No.
We've talked about this."
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
detail.
think
Beefaroni says the
Beefaroni
detail.
has
Mark
got it
didn't
right.
hear anything about Amy ruling over Shin and changing people's brains, which is something she publicly declared. He's like,
Stop
"Oh,
it. Get some help.
that's right, Amy. That's
Yeah,
one.
I
Shout
think-
out, that one's for you."
I think it would be, it would be the moment for Mark where he's like, "Amy, come back," and she's like, "No," or does the like, "Only if you abandon Victoria," and he's like, "Oh, no, that's the line. I'm
Yeah.
on Victoria's side. Sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah, if
You
the line had to be drawn like that, I think he would take Vicky's side. Which, like, I don't know if that's gonna have to happen because, like, I mean, Shin, like,
Once again, Mark
I
is
don't know.
slow to the thing, and part of that's not his fault because he's literally getting information. Like, he's the last person to get all of this information every time.
Right.
But he's clearly trying. Like,
Yes.
he messes up, but once again, I really appreciate that he messes up, he makes the corrections, he pays attention. There's clearly like a movement in the right direction, as opposed to Carol, who is dug in her heels and is promptly stomping off in a direction that is terrible, and refuses to hear any sort of outside voice talking to her.
Fran, I know what you're quoting, Fran. I don't want to be better. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. There's this
What is it
great
from?
comic. It's a
It's
Spider-Man
hilarious.
comic where this guy is Spider-Man's talking to this guy and he's like, "Wait, like you've got this great technology. You could do anything. You could cure cancer. You could do anything you want." And the guy's like, "But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs." And that's like his motivation for being a bad guy.
Amazing. Look,
Which, you know,
yeah,
honestly-
you gotta respect a man
Yeah.
whose singularity. Like, he knows
Dedicated
what
to
he
the
wants.
craft.
Like, I can
Yeah.
respect that.
I mean, how
Yeah.
many of us have a degree in something that we, the job that we have? This man said, as a child, I want to make a laser ray that
Alan, how
makes
dare you
dinosaurs.
bring up all of our trauma?
And then he went and did it,
That's
true.
crazy.
I mean, imagine having a master's degree in a profession you're not in anymore. That'd be crazy.
Damn.
Who would do that?
For a while,
Oh my
Nick,
gosh.
for a while, it was you and me. We were holding out for a while. It was just us,
Yeah,
and then
it's true.
it was just you, and
And then
now it's none of us.
none of
And then there were none.
and then there were none.
And now we all make
Uh.
podcasts about a book that no one's ever heard of, except for
So
like,
technically,
7 lovely people.
Jacob
watching
might
the
be the
chat.
closest.
I mean, communication.
Since you got, since you got the general degree.
I was gonna say, like, oh, I got my
Ping pong.
degree in being a person and interacting with others.
Can't
How
fail.
dare you?
Can never go
Dare
wrong.
you?
The pass-fail degree.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. But
God.
moving off from that,
yeah.
they prep up. I love the Ashley and Damsel. They're like, "Oh man, shopping so great," and they're like, "Oh man," and it's so cold out, which I'm like excited because it's cold out here right now. And they're like,
Yes.
"And we're at home, blanketed up, eating cookies and tea," and I was like, "Oh,
And drinking
the
best
dream!
of both worlds. Love it.
Fantastic.
What a way
I
to,
will
to
say,
do it."
It was so much fun reading, especially the first 2 chapters where they're outside in the snow and it's like, oh, the snow is falling and everyone's all bundled up and we're like crunching through the snow. We're going shopping. And I'm literally like sitting at my desk looking outside and it is cold and just rainy. And I'm like, this is perfect.
yeah.
I'm ready to listen to Christmas music. Let's go. I'm so ready. It was like
Hell
feeding
yeah.
all of my cold weather energy. It was amazing.
That's great.
Shall I read 10.2?
Let me see. Other
Do you
things.
have any notes
Um,
left from one?
I'm just excited for a shopping trip. You know, I love the
Yeah, me
shopping
too.
trip from Worm. I love the downtime when they're just goofing off together. The idea that, like, yeah, you're a hero in a skin tight outfit. Unless you've got some invulnerability powers, you need cold weather gear. If you're a flyer, double so. Like, even the altitude change from ground level to like 10 feet up is going to be a significant difference. And if you're flying in wind, bone chilling. You need thick gear.
I mean, shopping
drive a
trip is also in
snowmobile.
chapter 2, right?
Yes. This is just them on their way there at the end. Because they run into all the people with their hologram masks. And she's like, Rain, come on, dude, make a move. Like, she's like sitting there like, I'm so cold. Like, put your jacket around her, god damn it. So, my question for here.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah, if you want to read that.
No, I was going to make a joke. I was going to say the listeners don't know how tall we all are, but let's just say Alan's a little colder because he's higher up there.
Let's also say that since I work in the tree industry, I know that if you're 30 foot up in a tree, the wind is significantly different and the temperature much worse.
No, it's just because Alan's so tall.
Sure. The atmosphere up here is pretty bad.
Alan is slender, man. He's like 10 feet tall and real skinny.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
He's like really tall. Like when I stand next to him, it's like me and then like him way up there.
Am I like whippersnap? Just
yeah, you're like whippersnap.
Tall and nothing.
It's like a broomstick man.
Just like a freaking broomstick. That's what they call me.
Which of the beings is really tall? Bohu? Is that you?
Oh no. Is it Bohu and Tohu?
Yeah.
Which one's the tall one?
Building the mile high one.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's Tohu. Maybe I can't remember.
Tohu like tower maybe. I'll figure it out later. No. Question for you guys. With Rain, should Rain try to make a move on Aaron?
Didn't he already? Like, aren't they past making a move? Aren't they like?
It was awkward.
Yeah.
It was
deeply.
different.
Here's the thing. The only two the moves that we've seen being made are Aaron commenting that Rain thinks about her when he jacks off, and the child bride thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
How could we?
I mean, those are the moves
forget
that
about
have been
that?
made.
To me, that's making.
There were more moves. There were more moves.
It's not
there
very
were
subtle.
moves when they were in the car together all the time, getting snacks and their little road trips, and there were moves when he was trying to protect her, and there were moves when she's literally still here after he was in prison. Those are all moves. Those are and
it feels like it just feels like the meme. It's Aaron. So do you think of me when you touch yourself? Rain. I just can't tell if she's into me. I just don't
yes. That is it. And as Ian points out, after all that shit that went down, on one hand, I feel like it might be easier to talk about because a lot of barriers have been broken. At the same time, it is very traumatic. And I don't know, I don't know how comfortable, you would feel being like, hey, we've already been almost forced into a child marriage. Do you want to try that again, but without being
go
forced?
Get coffee sometime?
Yeah.
I don't think they should date yet. I think that they should. He should still listen. You can listen. Come here. Listen. You can flirt with somebody and enjoy that space of like, we're both flirting with each other. We know we both like each other, but we're not dating. But we both have clear crushes on each other, and we're just gonna sit in this nice little cozy, happy space.
I think
you can do that without dating. Can we? Rain's over here like.
I think what's hard about it is that when you're raised in such a conservative religious cult or religious culture in general, culture in general, you don't learn how to flirt naturally. Your only tactics are, hey, mom and dad, have you arranged this marriage for me? And or, hey, girl's dad, can I court your daughter? That's the extent of your flirting skills.
You flirt with their
Oh, it's
parents.
so
You
bad.
flirt with their parents, and I think that
Oh,
because
Oh.
Rain already did that, kind of like Mama Mathers was like, "Have your wife if you want.
Ah!
I'll watch."
oh.
What?
Always watching
No.
And so I think it's challenging to like. I just imagine maybe he wants to, but he's just like, so
Bernard knows.
you like books? Do you read ever? Like what do you?
Do you
Yeah.
read?
No. You're absolutely right, Nick, though, because there's only one
Yeah.
purpose for dating in that type of environment, and that's to get married.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're kind of like
Bless.
avoiding or that's like out of the picture, then like you really don't know what to do. Like
He ain't got no moves.
Here's the thing.
He's
It
got
needs
no
to
moves.
be a slow cooker thing. It just needs to be a slow cooker thing. They're gonna take some
Yeah.
time. They're
Yeah,
gonna
we're
go
not gonna
real
rush him.
slow.
We're not gonna rush him.
And by arc 35, which doesn't exist, we can fantasize that they got together and we're
that
happy.
one day. Ugh.
They went on one date.
They're gonna go to
Yeah.
a cabin, just like Gru.
They'll
Go
No!
and
They'll go
No
to Gru's
cabins!
cabin.
they're gonna go
No,
visit
they cannot go
Gru
to
in his
Gru's
Gru
cabin.
and
I'm gonna
Cozen in their
cry.
cabin.
I actually do think Rain's gonna die, but
No.
that's a side note.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that
Yeah,
later.
Yeah,
I
as
think
Bernard
Rain has
pointed
a
out.
high
mean-
probability of death.
Yeah.
I think you're right,
Uh,
but I'm trying not to think about it. too
As
much.
Bernard points out, why does everything that Hannah said remind me of the Gru Skitter dynamic?
Look,
Very
here's the thing.
applicable.
Bernard knows what he's talking about, and Bernard knows me, and me and Bernard have an understanding. No,
Yeah.
I think it's true. Like the Skitter Gru flirting of like even Taylor was awkward about it, but like there was still flirting happening. Like that's what we need. That's what
Yeah.
we need.
Yeah.
To back up even more to the winter gear, I love that Fran pointed out Grant Morrison figured this out in the 80s when he gave jackets to superheroes. It looks awesome. Robot Man, Animal Man look way cooler when he gave them jackets. I do love the short cropped like motorcycle bomber jacket, all
Yeah.
of that. You look at Superboy with his leather jacket.
great on
You look
everyone.
at Ricochet with also a leather jacket. With the once again, slightly cropped leather jacket, you can have the tight pants, looks great. Tracer from freaking
Overwatch.
Overwatch is like the descendant character from that. Tracer without the bomber jacket would kind of just look a little goofy. Bomber jacket, 10 out of 10. Like,
Good point. I do have to point out that we are, 45 minutes plus here, and we're through one chapter.
We're in.
We're
look,
one
we
ninth
got
of the way
there, a
down.
lot of this is it's weirdly how much, even though I don't have too many notes, some of them are
We are-
for big
I have less notes for
sections.
later chapters. I will
Yeah.
say.
Well,
We are
yeah.
that meme of like the book that's divided into sections where it's like the Brockton Bay podcast 10.1, 10.2 through 10.9.
Yeah.
All right, 10.2 though.
Yep.
Yes, please.
All right. 10.2. Kinsey passes out the hollow hairpins and the team goes shopping. Vicky and Sveta talk about boys. The team meets back up, and the Ashleys think Amy is working for Chris.
Yep.
My God.
Hannah, you have something to say?
I have so many things to say. My big thing is the one at the end, so we got to work our way into it. I have a lot of feelings. This was probably my favorite chapter.
Okay.
Loved.
Well,
this
I
one.
have a little show and tell first. So there
Show and
is
tell?
mention. Yes, if you'll notice, there's a coat. It's a little bit dark in the section over here. But in 10.2, they talk about Sveta and Victoria going. We broke apart, each of us searching different racks. I pulled out a long coat with material like suede, with shaggy fur around the collar, down the front, and around the end of the sleeves. Seams standing out in relief. And if you'll excuse me for a second.
I'm gonna go turn on the big light.
Oh,
Oh, maybe not. No, he's
made
gonna put it
Alan's
on.
screen bigger.
I know what he's doing. I know what it is.
getting.
Oh, Alan, you gotta turn on big light or something because it's not as bright. Go turn on big light. Big light bad, but go turn on
we
big
can
light.
see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Seams.
There we go.
Yep.
Fur around the collar, down, and at the sleeves.
Yeah,
It
Nice.
is the jacket.
Fabulous.
As soon as I
Fabulous.
saw it, I was like, I
That's
love
it.
this.
Oh yeah.
Fabulous.
Oh,
I do like that.
nailed it.
Oh man. Oh nice. Nice.
Alan Little.
All right, Captain Cold.
Over here.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Mr. Chill.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
Mr. Chill.
Mr. Chill.
Off-brand
those,
Dr. Freeze.
How about those hairpins? A little bit of
Yes!
disguised self magic.
I do like the
So
hairpins.
fun.
The hairpins
You
are
gotta
very
have
good.
those.
I love that. And I love the detail, not that it happens to them, but I do love the detail that both Sveta and Victoria put on the hairpins and have immediate like body dysmorphia of like,
Yeah.
"Ugh,"
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about the. We gotta talk.
like, oh, that's
talk about this.
yeah.
hmm
I made a meal out of this scene. Them in the bathroom, like staring in the mirror, and just Sveta
Mhm.
like running her fingers like across her arm, and like pushing on her skin. Like it fucked me up.
Yeah.
Fucked me up. Okay. It fucked me up. Still fucks me up. That like that moment of like we know Sveta has for so goddamn long not felt comfortable in her own body, and Vicky too, but like seeing yourself not as plastic anymore but as like real human girl for the first time in never.
A real
like-
human being and a real hero.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a good moment. I also think I didn't respect how, like, I knew Kenzie's projections were realistic. They said that looks like people, but it wasn't until this
Yeah.
scene that I really got that, like, oh,
The
they look
detail.
real. Yeah.
Like she talks
cool.
about the impression on skin. Like when I press on my skin, it indents and it moves because it's not hard plastic. Like I was literally listening to this episode going like this with my arm watching, because that's what she's doing in this moment. She's like touching and she's seeing the change happening, but feeling like you're touching hard plastic. And like, whoa.
Yeah, cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, when she goes into the changing room and she has the, I'll just call the cleavage moment.
Yeah.
What an interesting array of emotions to go through there. I love the disappointment but relief talk where she's like, I'm relieved that Kenzie did not do anything, because that would be really weird, but also very disappointed because it would be nice to feel like I am a complete person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt.
Crazy.
And then
Oh.
and then talking about her and Weld.
Oh.
Yeah, cute little moment. She really likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so tough to like feel like you're gosh. Yeah. To feel
I
like you're
swear.
trying to figure out what you should do and you can't
Yeah.
do any of the things.
I did make a promise to myself reading this chapter, which is that if Wildbow has Weld break up with Sveta, I will stop reading his works. So it's just, I had the moment I was reading that and I was like, wow, he could do it. He could do it. And he would be the worst person ever if he did.
Would you legitimately like leave the podcast? Or would you stay in the
I'm out.
podcast but just not read anything ever again?
Yeah, right. Just be in the corner. I don't even care.
Just join me, Jacob. Join me.
Yeah.
It's just Jacob
hitting the
behind the printer, like just drunk with a bottle.
It's
Just
just
hitting
me
the
and Jacob
soundboard
and
every
one
now
Are
and
y'all
then.
on
still
one
reading
screen.
that shit?
Yeah.
Me and Jacob join one screen and just
Yeah,
sit there and nod.
Yeah.
You've somehow figured out how to project him like over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Because my first thought was, oh man, this is the worm, the parahumans universe. I really hope like Weld doesn't die and Sveta's got to deal with that. That would be awful. Then I was like, but what would be worse?
What would be worse?
I was like, oh no. But no, only good vibes. They're gonna be happy forever. Don't worry.
there's got to be, because here's the thing. First of all, like, fake scenario. It's like you had a dream about your boyfriend breaking up with you, and you're like, oh, you're mad at him in real life. Like, first, how dare you? Second, like, like, first, how dare you, Weld, even though nothing's happened yet. But also, like, Weld can't have normal relationships with a human girl either. Be a big boy. Like, let's remember here that Sveta might be actually the best person to be with him because of the way that she's built, and she can literally, like, not hurt him, you know?
Yeah, but she can't, as she said, she can't please him either. It's this weird balance of
Right.
like they can be together but not fully give themselves to each other in a way that they might want to, which is and it's hard, right? Is it a question of like, is that just because that's what Sveta thinks he expects? And so she's like, well, this is what people do in relationships, and I can't do that. So clearly
Right.
something's wrong. Or I also imagine there's also, on the other hand, the tension of like, no, they really do want to be intimate in different ways than they can be, even just for her to make him happy. Like she said, of like, I just want to make him feel something, like whether it's food or, physical touch, whatever it is. I just want to make him feel something good because he
Yeah.
so rarely gets that.
God damn it, Michael.
What?
Michael just put in a tractor.
Put a tractor.
God damn it, Michael.
Put a tractor emoji in the chat.
Oh, because he.
For those of you who don't
He just wanted to
remember,
feel something.
long
What-
ago on this podcast,
Taylor's last words on this podcast.
Our friend Taylor.
an old
Old host. His last words
from
on the
ye old
podcast
days.
before he left was, "Dude's fucking a tractor."
About Weld.
Talking about
About
Weld.
Weld.
Yeah.
I'm a Weld. Yeah.
And then,
As Ian asked, not to be rude, but can Weld even, slag?
Yeah. Listen, they'll get there. Tentacle in the butt or something. That'll do it.
sometimes you just need that something to push you over the finish line.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. God.
Also, I imagine that, like, it's more like, what's that room temperature liquid that, like, it melts in your hand?
Mercury?
I was gonna say
No, there's mercury. There's also, like, was it palladium? Not palladium, but you know what I'm talking about. There's another one like that. But yeah, basically mercury.
yeah, I know what you're thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
find the
what I
old,
was gonna say. Oh no, Jacob, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Let's move on.
Probably good to move on.
What I was gonna say was, like, reading. I just felt bad because I wanted to be like Sveta. Like, I like, oh man, girl. It would not make her feel any better to know that literally every couple deals with some form of intimacy issue stuff at some point in their relationship. Like, at some point or another, you have to figure out how you and your partner work together, whether that is sexually or emotionally or just physically in general. So it's like obviously for them it's extra complicated, but like, to make her feel better, just be like, babe, I know you don't want to hear this right now, but like, no couple just works perfectly in terms of intimacy, because you have to learn what works for you. Because whether it's like someone having a weird fetish or like some people just having a lower or a higher sex drive, like, this is a normal thing for couples. You are not alone in the category of like, wow, I don't know how to deal with this XYZ issue in my physical relationship with my partner. Like, I think, like, I don't know anybody who hasn't had that at some point to deal with. And like, yeah, this was something that we're constantly talking about or dealing with or moving through or whatever. And like, you find ways around things. Like, you just need to figure out what it is that works for you guys. And that takes time, It takes time to figure out sometimes.
Yeah.
I want to give her a hug and not be squashed, but give her a hug.
To go through chat real quick, Fran points out, to bring it up again, Dot did say that Amy could easily change Sveta's body, but of course, Sveta will not let that happen because fuck Amy.
No. It's fine, Amy.
So all it would take is allowing Amy to touch her, and she could have that magic wish of like, the monkey's paw, where like she could get everything she wanted basically, but it would mean having to deal with Amy. Bernard Taylor is could be either name. Taylor Lautner for one.
Yeah.
Is a boy's name. And William Doe,
Who's in
thank you for
Twilight.
being here, because gallium is what I was thinking of. Thank you for
Gallium. There you go.
pointing that out.
Big brain.
Nailed
Very
it.
smart.
Ah, yes, Gallium, classic Pokemon.
Weren't they in the gallium region?
Yeah. Recently, I think in Pokemon Z Alpha.
Okay. We gotta keep going. We're doing good.
Fucking nerds.
All right.
10.2.
It's
so
to the
another
wait,
side
wait.
note-
one.
No, another.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Are
Oh,
we still
yes.
talking about Savetta and Victoria?
Yeah.
No, continue.
I was-
Sorry. You said
I was gonna move
10.2,
on.
and in my head, I was like, thought you were
yeah.
talking about 10.3. We need to hit the end part. Of
I had
this
two.
chapter.
Yeah, two more things on that.
Yeah.
One is the equity and balance. I love talking about that. That like you don't want equity, like equal reciprocity does not, like, that's just not how
Right.
relationships work. It's not a
Yeah.
even thing, and you shouldn't do that because it involves scorekeeping, and that's not great for a relationship.
Bad road to go down. No.
But it made me think of like the concept of positive and negative liberty, where like you have positive, which is like the internal liberty to make the choice to do things, and in this case, with being able, and they even bring up autonomy, and Sveta is so sick and tired of being taken control of with all these powers that we've been running around, and it's just, she's like, if it's not one person, if it's not one person, then it's literally my own body that's taking control, and like if it's not that, then it's the power or the shard or whatever. And then negative liberty being like being free of external forces on you, and just something that comes back to mind again when we're talking about autonomy, and how I just feel like that is the theme of Ward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And to that point, unironically, some great relationship advice that I got came from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I guess spoilers for the end of that if you haven't seen it, but there's a scene where a couple of characters, using the equivalent exchange analogy of alchemy, is like, hey, I'll give you 50% of my life if you give me 50% of yours. And the character responds, you dumbass, love isn't like alchemy. You don't give 50% to give 50%. It's 100% both ways. And I think that that's unironically basically what's happening there, where it's like, it's not scorekeeping. It's you're just giving yourself to the other person wholeheartedly, and that's what matters. But
Yeah.
Weeb, thank you, Ian. We are huge weebs here, if you didn't know. Yes. We are people of culture. I do want to say though. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
The
Alan.
last comment. I didn't think about this till the end. Of course, Rain gets anxiety when he's in a mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Poor guy.
Didn't mention that.
He probably gets anxiety anytime he's in a big location with a bunch of people. Oh, that was a bunt.
Got a cat.
Hello, Bunty.
Oh.
Little baby.
Little
Yeah.
Strungle baby. Oh my goodness.
I do want to say, this goes a bit into 10.3, but the fast food chains in this world and from the original world are kind of funky. But my only guess is that Wild Bow went to Del Taco once, and it was exactly what Del Taco is, which is awful. And
Okay.
as a result, he's like, fuck that place. You're getting hated on in my food court as Hell Taco.
Hell taco.
Except
Okay,
ironically, it's good.
Okay, so that was the thing. I wrote down Hell Taco is Del Taco because I also went there once. And let me tell you, when you pay like the $5 for 10 tacos, I couldn't even eat those because they were so bad. Like it was the worst tacos I've ever had in my life. Completely unedible, and I will down Taco Bell every day of the week. The difference between those is
Taco Bell
incredible.
peak.
Which is weird because the Hell's Taco sounds like it has flavor and spice, so it could not be like there's no way that this is.
Well, that's what I think it is, right? It's Del Taco, but good. And Fran, the one with the cow mascot is Patty's, which we'll get to later. because I think that may
Yeah.
also be a joke on something, but I'm not sure.
Which
Um,
who else could have cow mascots all around on
yeah,
Eat
who
More
else would
Chicken?
Talking
have
about
cow
not getting
mascots?
eaten.
Yeah.
It's
I was definitely thinking of
100% Chick-fil-A.
The only issue,
Chick-fil-A.
the only issue is that Wild Bow's Canadian, and I don't know that Chick-fil-A is prolific up there.
Listen,
It's
he's
not
been
really
to he's
prolific up
heard of
north all
one
that much.
Chick-fil-A once in
Yeah.
his life, and he was like, "Oh, that makes sense. They have like a cow mascot,
He
and
just
then they
Googled
serve
popular
chicken." Like,
chains
yeah.
and then started making his own versions.
Yeah, watch. We
Maybe.
think all these are
Yeah.
fake, but these are actual Canadian chains. He'll
Right.
find
Right,
them.
beloved Canadian chains, and they're like, "Don't
Oh,
you dare
no,
shit
that we're
on
just
Hell
shitting
Taco."
Don't you know? I've got the Hell Taco right next to the Tim Hortons.
Oh, I got
okay?
me toucan.
Right next to the Tim
Short-
Hortons and the Patty's Patties.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Sorry,
so
Canadians.
sorry, but I gotta interrupt you there, bud. Patty's is one of my favorites. After I get up, I put on my toque and I go outside with me duck boots. I get some coffee
duck
from Tim
boots.
Hortons and I
Alright.
get some Patty's for lunch.
Pirate Canadian. Oh my god.
Fantastic.
We're sorry,
Uh,
Canadians. We
We're not.
do
What are
like
they gonna
you.
do? Apologize me to death?
I mean,
They don't have
They're-
internet.
They're not
You know what?
watching.
Worse, they're gonna come down and they're gonna pronounce marquee wrong until I burst into a cloud of acid.
There you go. But no, I did think that was funny though. It's like, oh, it's a Del Taco, but it's good and has flavor. That's funny.
Yep.
El Taco.
I'm getting an
Um,
upset stomach just thinking about Del
Taco.
Taco.
But to the
Stop
to the
thinking about
bigger
it.
point, to the bigger point of 10.2, the revelation that perhaps Amy is working
Yes.
for Chris is fascinating.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay. For so many episodes, we have asked, who do we think is the problem character? And I feel like I have said almost every single time
Mhm.
that it's either one baby or the other baby. And I have to say, when this happened, and Ashley was like, she seems subservient to Chris, I didn't fall out of my chair. I slid out of my chair and I just laid on the floor for a little bit because the overwhelming wave of being right all the time just hit me. I can't even say it with a straight face. Just hit me with such an oomph. I just right
Hey,
out of my
we're not
chair.
we're not even
Hold on.
halfway through war.
I gotta
There's
see what
plenty
these
of time
cats
for
are
you to
eating
still
in
be
here.
wrong.
Hold on.
That's true. There is plenty of time for me to be incorrect.
We're still waiting on
But
that
I
Chris
just-
interlude.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
real though.
We still
But
need
no, I think Ashley's right. I think here's the thing. I think Ashley
Yeah.
is really good at reading body language. We saw that in her interlude. We saw that she's really good at watching the small, minute changes in posture and tone because for her the hierarchy is very important. And I think that if anyone were to notice this, it would be Ashley. And I trust that she would notice this and then just be like, guys, would like to bring this to your attention, and that she would be right. And I'm so excited because it lends a whole new dynamic and problem to the Amy situation, especially literally after having come off of this conversation with Carol and Mark about Amy. And I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I'm really curious more from Amy's perspective here, because like Chris is still very much a bit of a blank page. We know so little about his origin, really what his powers are, all that kind of stuff. So it's not surprising to me that we're getting like a bit more of a deeper revelation to his whole deal. Like that's kind of interesting. But why the hell is Amy, assuming all of this is exactly as Ashley fears, why is Amy listening to Chris, following Chris? My first thought was like, does one of his forms have the ability to like, lightly mimic a power or something like that? Like, did he get like a little snippet of Goddess's power, or it didn't feel that exact way, but something is weird there where it didn't read like the type of relationship where Amy would just willingly be like, all right, little child, you're the boss now. You know,
Yeah.
so
Hear me out. One of his forms that he took was a blonde woman. And then Amy just did whatever
right.
she said.
Yeah. Chris is like, I can give you what you want.
He is a child.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Unless,
Amy is
Waldo's
simple,
doing the
so-
whole anime thing where he's actually 1,000 years old and just takes the form of a child.
I mean, we did also do because we also got some of the background. Oh, that's in the next chapter. Sorry, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I
Also,
think that's
chat, be
important
real
too.
careful there if you don't mind. And the rest of you don't look at chat.
I haven't looked at chat in
Okay.
like 2 months.
Good. You
I
shouldn't.
was looking at
Chad,
it
I love you.
today.
But I fear you.
Yeah. I did say a while ago, y'all probably should never look at chat.
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
like looking at chat.
Yeah.
Tease
Yeah.
and chat, tease and chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Tease and
funny.
chat, please.
Okay, I won't look at chat for the next 5 minutes. How about
I
that?
think I remember
Um,
what you're talking about, Alan.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
But yeah.
I was gonna say, remember the conversation we had so long ago about it was like thrown out as like a casual like whatever, but I kind of brought that back a little bit of like because we don't know Chris's origin. Well, okay, wait. Is them talking about Chris in chapter 3 or chapter 2? I can't remember.
10.3 is when they talk about his backstory a bit
Okay,
more.
I'll hold my comments until chapter 3.
I mean, do you want to just read point 3 if we're gonna? This is kind of what we're talking about here. Any other thoughts in point 2?
No, we could do 0.3.
Might as well. We got
I'm down.
a bunch of chapters to get
We do
through.
have a few. 10.3. Breakthrough discusses Chris and his background, meets with the heroic mercenaries, tracks them to Tattletale, and discovers that the Undersiders have left New Brockton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is where we get into Patty's with
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can stop.
cows advertising
Wonderland,
themselves being eaten.
by the way, has a bingo. Congratulations to
wow.
Wonderland.
Dang.
Chris Theories,
Hey.
Shopping Spree, Should Rain Make a Move, and Cat on Screen. We'll see
Very
if we
nice.
have any others.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yes,
Um,
we get a bit of what Chris has presented in the group sessions before Victoria joined, right? It's like a little bit of like what he's shared essentially.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we believe
I-
it?
I still think, listen, from what I remember, it's a minute since I read 10.3. He just kind of woke up in this fleshy experimental state,
Mhm.
and he claims to not have memories of before that time. And I think he's the Simmerg baby. I think I'm kind of holding to that theory.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
was I was gonna say. Yeah. The
Where
Simmerg
I
baby.
think, they killed the baby, but really Cauldron probably grabbed it, and maybe they were experimenting on it, and that's who Chris is. And then he got out.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think too. I think that
I mean,
as well.
what was mine? Mine was just that it was a Nilbog clone.
Mhm.
A Nilbog
Yeah.
clone.
Also-
A homunculus type thing.
Yeah,
But
it's
that
just
would
some
make
sort of-
sense of why maybe, I don't know why Rachel would have met him, but why Amy might have met him is that maybe at some point he was brought in like a goopy, fleshy state. And so she watched Bonesaw help put him back together, kind of like she was doing for
Oh.
Ashley and other characters.
Yeah.
You know,
Who was the other
that
person?
would that
Who
would-
knew Chris?
Rachel, bitch. I had met him before.
right.
Okay.
That would also. It's funny because just going back to what we were just talking about, if it's a Simmerg baby, would also explain why maybe he has a little bit of control over people like Amy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would do it. That would do it.
Yep.
Smurf.
Thoughts on
Oh, I'll say my little thoughts then if you're thinking.
no,
Poor
hold on. What's her
Kenzie.
name?
Oh.
Kenzie. Yes, that was my thing. Thoughts on Kenzie and her defense of Chris. Because I'm curious what you guys thought about that.
I kind of forgot what she said. It's been a minute since I've
Kenzie
read it.
has a crush on him, and I'm not going to discount
Yeah.
that for everything, but like she talked about how, all the times he was a little ass all the time, but also he took a genuine interest in what she was doing and
Yeah.
felt really, kind of seen by him because they were kids of the same age, or around the same age, and she never really had anything even approximating a friend, really. So
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of positive feelings that were maybe
I
not
do remember that now.
that in a good light you would have been like, that doesn't, no. Poor
Definitely
Kenzie.
a rose tinted look at things,
Yeah.
hyperimposed over Chris's behavior. I do think there's a possibility that Chris, if we're going with the assumption he's not really human, just doesn't know how to relate to people, and since his whole
Mm.
existence is pain, he just kind of only knows how to do it in a sarcastic, negative way. So maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe, but also it could just as easily just be he's an asshole, and she interpreted his attention not as,
Yeah.
or she interpreted it as positive attention instead of like perhaps a bully learning his target's weaknesses.
Yeah. And not to be like, oh, but he's just a teenage boy. But he's acting like a jerk teenage boy, where it's like completely unnecessary. Like he doesn't need to be. And even though he is in a lot of pain, and he doesn't know his backstory, and there's a lot of him feeling, disconnected from himself, even
Yeah.
in his own identity. But like everyone in this group has gone through bad shit, like who can relate to what he has gone through. Like Sveta with the whole not knowing your history, not knowing your past. Freaking Vicky for the whole like being stuck in a body that you're really not quite sure how to manage sometimes. Sveta as well. Like being a kid and not having as much control as you would like to have, and because you're limited because you're still just a child, like, and yet he acts like an asshole. So it's like
Yeah.
I like Chris, I really do, but also the behavior, it's not great, especially, and I just feel for Kenzie, like seeing that and being like, but he's really nice sometimes. And it's like, okay, but if his default is to be an asshole, I think Sveta says it, or somebody says it, but the whole thing is like, if his default is to be an asshole and then every once in a while he remembers to be nice to you, like that's not a nice person. That's a mean person who is being manipulative at times.
It's funny how
Yep.
because we mentioned that Rachel knows who Chris is, because it's funny how there's a lot of similarities between those two, right? Because Rachel has dog brain as a result from
Mhm.
her shard, so there's
Yeah.
Yep.
clearly a mental component to the shard latch on that can wildly impact your mental state, essentially. So if we give Chris the most generous version of he's still human, this is just a really weird trigger or something to that effect, I'm curious what that is that's activating for him, if it's something similar in that regard, that he just got like you know asshole brain
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, being in pain all the time
Mhm.
can most certainly affect the way that you interact with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, valid, but also,
Yeah. As
you know?
Beefaroni points out, if he was the Simurgh baby, that would probably be more meaning that he was an Eidolon clone. And as we know, Eidolon is noted to be kind of an asshole.
True. So he's
True.
Eidolon's son. It's just,
Yep.
Mm.
yeah.
I was trying to come up with something like Smitelon or like
Spawnalon.
Funnel on.
Ispawnolon.
Which, I could see his powers being a subset of Eidolon's, whereas Eidolon is just adopting powers as he needs them, can change his form to fit what he needs.
Yeah, it's kind of
See that
similar.
being
Maybe Eidolon unknowingly,
Maybe.
just as he did with the Endbringers, create Chris with maybe
Yeah,
his powers
that's what he
manifested
tells
him.
his
Oh,
wife.
there you go. So
Yeah.
I don't even. I must have done it like
it's,
the
no,
Endbringers.
it's Endpreg. It's like
Yeah.
Endpreg. Endpreg.
Oh no,
Endbringer
I don't
pregnant.
like that one. No.
That's a
Oh no.
No. bad.
Oh no.
interesting thought. I don't like it.
I
don't like it.
Can't believe you
I-
had that thought.
I can't believe that thought.
I
entered
have
your
several
brain.
questions. First of all, how dare you?
Eidolon got the Simurf Endpreg, you know?
What?
Ian
No.
says maybe Chris is the first powered dog.
Chris is
About
a dog.
Oh no.
Chris is
Well,
a
we know
dog.
he's not the first.
Yeah,
Not
we
first.
There's another dog.
I said first.
Yeah.
He didn't say first. That was me.
yeah.
No, that's funny.
Also, something
Ugh.
about end peggers, but you know.
No.
Okay, come on. We almost got away.
I'm
We
sorry,
were
Nick.
so good.
Blame Nick. He put it in my mind. Inception. I,
reading
can't
chat,
believe he
I
would do
read
this.
chat.
Nick,
we
stop
moved on, and you
impregnating
brought it back.
Alan's mind.
That's your
I
fault.
can't believe
I'll
y'all
never
did that,
stop.
Nick.
I'll never stop. I'm all up in those grooves of his brain.
Right? Cerebral assassin. He's just in my mind.
Gross. Gross.
All right.
What is wrong with you guys?
10.4.
Yeah, tempo
Before we
let's get
do,
moving.
before we do, this is I found a comment that references something we've discussed on the podcast before, and it just felt right to share. So on October 30th, 2018 at 11:52 a.m., Insane Noodly Guy commented on 10.3. All the Undersiders displaced? All of them? Is Coil Sniper in town?
Hey.
Yes.
It's a man
And I'm just
of
like, other
character.
people made the joke
Other people
too.
think too.
7 years ago, they made the same joke.
Ah,
Bless.
Fantastic.
This is just to prove that like, we're still
Vindication.
relevant so
We
many years
stand on
later.
the shoulder of giants.
It's true. Thank you, Insane Noodly Guy,
Shoulder,
wherever you
singular.
are.
Yep. The big giant.
Yes, the most dangerous villain, Coil Sniper.
Coil Sniper.
Definitely.
I'm telling you.
real.
Give a competent man a gun and they take over the entire world.
Well, we'll
That's
get to competent person with a gun in a second. Because 10.4.
Still
and
have so many chapters.
10.4. Yeah, we have to speed run
Yeah,
this.
but
here.
only 2 of them have notes.
Yeah, we do start to get into some blending for me as well.
Yes,
mentally.
absolutely.
10.4. Teams across the city begin collaborating. Breakthrough investigates the Undersiders' retreat with Kinsey's time camera, while March's team is after, and they discover March's team is after Parian and Foil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get some. I'm telling you, like,
The
listen,
only-
broken record here, but man, do I wish we were following the Undersiders. It's just,
I know.
just one of those chapters. I really am starting to really like this new crew a lot. I'm really getting attached to them as characters. But I miss our squad. I miss our Worm squad. It hurts.
I do love though. I love Victoria's awareness of how potent they are though, because Tristan's like, "What if we just go after Tattletale? Like, come on, surely it's not that big of a deal." And Victoria just goes, "No, fuck no." Wait.
Yep. It felt
Like,
what's the scene from X-Men where Pyro's like, "Oh, I could kill the professor if you give me the chance." Magneto's like, "Charles Xavier has done more for mutant kind than you could possibly imagine." That whole thing. It's a bit of that, but kind of flipped. Like Victoria being like, "Don't even you do not know who you're
Do
messing
not-
with."
Exactly.
This girl
Do
just
not
like can
underestimate
talk
them.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I-
God, it's so good.
They go.
I
This
do
was
love
a
the
tasty
time-
little treat to see
Yeah.
them
Yeah,
again.
tasty
That was-
treat
that
for
was
sure.
lovely. A tasty
Yeah.
treat.
The time camera stuff is super cool, as well as they're like trying to piece together
Oh yeah, that was very
how
cool.
everything happened.
Ah.
Sucks for Imp's arm. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So that's
We
a
lost
rough,
it.
buddy.
Holy shit.
And I don't know if it was named before, but is this the first time Fault Line's crew's name has been mentioned? Because they have a good name now, and I'm like, I was taken
Okay.
aback by it.
Yeah, it took me a
They're-
second to realize what they
they're
were
cl-
They're
club.
mentioned.
Their club that they worked out of was called the Palanquin.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now
then
it
the
has
world blew up.
become their team name.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
that's what I thought.
Because
Yeah,
before it was
because
just Fault Line's crew.
It's Fault Line's Crew.
Yeah,
It's
which
still,
was
it
an
still
awful
is Fault
name.
Line's Crew.
It's still Fault Line's Crew, but that's just not a cool name.
Yeah, well,
But-
when you got to put it on an
Palanquin's
LLC, then yeah, you got to put
Yeah.
Palanquin
Yeah,
down.
Palanquin is a much cooler
An
name.
LLC.
Palanquin's a much cooler name, and I'm so glad that they're there. I'm glad to see. We'll get to that later, I guess, who's still around in Palanquin. But all of these people, seeing all these people back, I'm like, oh yeah, these are the characters I wanted to see again. Like this group, the Undersiders, Palanquin, they're some of the best ones from Worm. So happy to see them once again.
So good.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have a couple fun things in here. Finally, I couldn't remember if it was true, but it seemed like it was true, but we didn't have confirmation. But now we do that Paris is a cluster.
Yes.
Oh,
This is
right.
definite conclusion that we have.
Paris is
Right.
in a cluster, but he's not in Foil and March's cluster. He's
No,
on
he's
his
in a
own.
different
don't
cluster.
think so, even though that it seems like should be.
I got a little lost
Yeah.
in the weeds of these chapters. Was it said that March and Foil are the only remaining members of the
Yes.
cluster?
I think
There
so.
was a
'Cause
third,
she's-
and March drained
they've
them.
been,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they've
Right.
been-
Okay.
March has done away with them.
yeah.
March looking a little scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm kind of totally here for it. I actually wish we had more. Like, I want more March. So like, March scary, bad, but also more March, please.
Very interesting character for sure. I mean, seeing her
Also,
powers
I love
in
the
the
aesthetic.
the aesthetic's great. Seeing her powers in the fight with the Fallen was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool vibes. And it's funny because when we were first introduced to March, I had just the whole bunny motif is funny because I
Yeah.
had just watched the Devil May Cry anime that came out on Netflix, which
So
is
did
pretty good.
we. So did
Well-
we.
And I was like,
Yeah.
ah,
So we talked about this before. Adaptation
yeah.
VFX, who has made a bunch of Worm animations and is still working on the Leviathan
Yep,
fight,
yep.
which is supposed to be like a big project for them, was working on a bunch of Netflix animated shows.
Mm.
One of which was the Devil May Cry show. Now, I
That's
don't know if they did the input on that, but when I first saw that and that they had kind of a time,
Shout
thing, because
out.
White Rabbit, goes with it. I was like, what are the odds that they March
is a
haired
war
that whole
reference.
thing?
funny.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Big fan.
yeah, very cool.
Well done.
Bernard asks, and we kind of answered how we feel about March. I am always nonplussed with March. March is just such a meh character to me. Really
Aw,
cool that
I'm
they're just
excited.
shooting people with a
I love
sniper.
the aesthetic.
It's just Coil's sniper. And
Yeah. Aesthetic and vibes carries March very far, I will say.
I would say
I
those are
think
what
so
take
too.
it down for me.
Yeah.
I think she gets lost
Oh
in the.
no, I love a theme. I love a theme.
Yeah, but I
What-
hate the rabbit and marching band theme.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
what were you
no,
saying,
no.
Jacob? She gets lost in the
No,
what?
I think she gets. There's so many characters and so many powers.
Yeah.
Just kind of gets lost a bit. But excited for the dynamic
Yeah.
between her and Foil, which I'm hoping is explored a bit more because I do love a good Foil.
I hope so too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Foil's great. Yeah, I really like the dynamic also with the cops showing up,
Mm-hmm.
being like, with the camera being like, hey, what you doing over here?
I'm gonna keep it
Because
real.
it all looks semi-realistic too. So they're like, it's fake,
Yeah.
it's holograms. We're just
W-
running a
Turn
sim.
the opacity down.
What are cops doing here? I'll be honest. Like, what are they gonna do?
My question every time
Well-
I go outside.
Listen. All right now. But like, I mean, it's easy to forget, I think, that there are so many just normal, regular human people out there. Because, like,
True.
there are so many regular human people out there. So, like, the cops are there to deal with, like, the human on human shit. Like, the day-to-day human stuff.
They truly are there just for the traffic violations.
I was gonna say they're the
Exactly.
they're the line leaders, in school. The teacher's like, all right, you can stand here in front of these people, and you all stand
Hall
against the wall.
monitors?
Yeah, the hall monitors. Yeah,
Flex.
exactly.
Aw. Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
love that they act like cops too. There's like they're so predictably cops. He's like, you go stand over there with that notepad and look like you're doing something.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Oh, it got me really good. Uh, good shit. Good shit.
And over here, Bernard asked about is March shout out to Alice in Wonderland. Perhaps
Yes.
partially. I would argue that it's probably closer to the idiom that March Hare comes from in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, because there's a British term, say mad as a March hare, because how crazy hares get during spring when they're fucking like rabbits.
Like bum buns.
So to say, and we've talked, March is an unstable individual, so I think it has to do more with that than the Lewis Carroll part.
Yeah, a little wacky doodle. Also, who doesn't love a theme?
Alan.
True.
Alan does.
Alan.
It's
only
Alan.
certain
It's
things.
Alan. Alan
Doesn't
doesn't love
like
a
It's
theme.
me and Vicky. We just don't like certain, outfits.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Moving on.
No, how can we talk about Perian has a clothing line and a manufacturing business.
Right, so good. Makes sense.
That's
Because
so
we don't
fun.
have those EPA, or what is it, the EPA 5 rule where you can't profit off of your powers. And meanwhile, she's out here just chugging out a factory full of clothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we'll get to the other parts that I enjoy with more people
Also,
in
Vicky
10.5.
has multiple of her sweatshirts. She says,
Of
"I have so
course.
much." She's like, "Oh, I've got like 4 of her clothing of Brockton Bay."
I mean,
I'm
imagine
like,
if you came
yeah,
up with
represent.
If you came up with the
Imagine, if you
I
will,
Heart New
that
York.
someone had designed merch for something that you love, and imagine, if you will, also being that related to Brockton Bay, and imagine, if you will, also purchasing that merch in support of those things.
Where could somebody find that kind of merch if they wanted to support in Brockton Bay?
That's such a great question. I'm so glad you asked. I think if one were to, in fact, support that merch, that Brockton Bay merch, that Brockton Bay's merch, you could perhaps find the link to that in
In the description.
in the description of this video or this podcast or wherever podcasts are found. I bet you if you looked, you'd find a link.
There's
I bet you.
Mhm.
I bet you.
Shut up.
Shout out.
All right.
Perfect.
10.5?
10.5.
10.5. Breakthrough. Well, I feel like we've kind of touched on this a bit, but we'll go through it. Breakthrough describes the scene to the police, then goes to meet Fallon's crew who have been hiding. Tattletale. March is trying to drain clusters, Gata style.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked a bit about this one already, but I do find it interesting that this is sort of March's promise, is like, hey, team up with me, I'll teach you how to drain your cluster.
Boy, have I
That
heard
said-
that promise before.
Yes.
God damn it.
They have Instagrams for cluster draining if you enjoy those.
I don't think you can find
What
that on
was
Instagram, but maybe.
It's
cluster draining, pimple popping, that kind of
Oh,
boiling.
gross. That's disgusting.
Yeah, see,
man.
Alan was thinking something
Ugh.
else because it's Alan.
What were you thinking, Alan?
I was thinking about powers.
yeah.
Oh yeah. The
Is this
power
where
of
we
good
meet
dermatology.
the rest of the new
Colin Queen?
Fault Lines
Yes.
crew? Yeah,
Yes.
Queen.
Yeah.
So I do love Gregor and Shamrock are still together,
Yay.
and they're
Yeah.
And
I
they're
love that
married!
They're
They got
around. They're married.
married.
They got married.
You know what? Gregor deserves this.
Gregor
No.
deserves
He
this.
really
He does.
He deserves everything.
Gregor is a great guy.
Boy.
We've got Whippersnap, right, as part of this group.
My new favorite guy.
I love the one is like Whippersnap, search them. And I just imagine he's like
It was like
this with like weirdly long limbs. It's
he
so
looks.
good.
I'm trying to imagine
So-
what
Speedster.
machines are that have like the little wappy slappers. I can't
Wappy
imagine
slappers?
if it's in the car wash or Like there's something in
No,
my head that I can
no.
see.
The car wash is right where it's got like the rolling thing, but it's like all the flappy bits.
I
His
love-
whole look is literally because also shout out first like true speedster we've gotten, I think, in the entire universe, other than like Velocity. It was like
Oh,
kind
what
of
do you mean? We have the
baby.
Tinker speedsters.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not talking Tinkers because Tinkers are
Tinker's
bullshit. We
cheap.
all know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But his whole look is if he was running too fast in the wind, and it just made his face and body permanently like that. Like that is
He
his
just
look.
looks like the cinnamon stick from Apple Jacks.
It really is. I found some great fan art of him. I'll post it in the Patreon text
Yeah,
channel.
please do. It was
let's check out
it's
the Patreon text channel.
the
yeah,
Patreon.
the
Ian
mantle
puts,
effect didn't quite work.
Ooh,
That is
yeah.
horrifying.
He looks like salad fingers in that one.
He does look like salad fingers. Oh my god! Except like the bulging eyes are worse somehow.
Yeah. Also, as Ian was pointing out, and Fran, you know, you're telling me that March's whole plan is to suck off your girlfriend?
No.
Exactly. Yep.
No.
Oh, looks like
Yep.
we have a second
No.
bingo from Wonderland.
Oh.
Poor Sveta. Should Rain make a move? Tattletale hype. And Gregor got married.
Hey.
Married. Wait, is that 2 for Wonderland?
That is true. I
Damn.
just got my first one.
That's
why.
fine.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the new faces in the crew. Is great.
Also, I
Yeah.
like Fault
Really
Line
is.
and her crew. Like Shamrock has one of my favorite powers, which is just the domino effect, the being super lucky. Gregor's an amazing guy, and Fault Line pisses Tattletale off, and is just generally cool. For
Oh, it's
none
good.
of that
Love that
being
they're
her
working
power, like her power is a
Yeah.
whole separate issue that never gets used, and she's
Yeah.
still better than Tattletale.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Um,
Good team. We also see some of the other members of the Undersiders that didn't get much highlighted in Worm, like Chicken Little.
Little.
Who comes
Yeah,
up a bit later. Stuff like that. So I did enjoy that. There was a Rain and Kinsey moment that I noted because I thought it was funny, where Kinsey's talking about like, be careful, this is just the one camera, and he's like, he says, is that just the one because it's special or because it's your last one? Rain asked. Both. It's both.
Oh,
there's also
boy.
the point later where she's like, come on, Rain, I got the innuendo before you did. Jesus. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's so good.
Love it.
I love, even if it's just a little bit and it's temporary and it's a bit coerced, I do love the Tattletale breakthrough team up. I'm here for it.
mm,
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. It's like, listen, keep
Yeah.
your friends close, your enemies closer, but that's a dang good enemy to keep close and on your side. Let me tell you.
um,
Like,
yeah,
Wow.
let's see. Do we notice anybody else? Oh, congratulations, Bernard, on getting a bingo. Very nice.
very
Ooh.
nice.
Hell yeah.
Anybody else you recognize?
There was somebody
Oh,
else that I can't remember.
The lace girl, Chantilly.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh, yeah.
Chantilly one?
Mhm.
Or if you-
Not the one I was thinking of, but there's somebody
we've
we've
met
seen
her
before
before.
in Worm.
In
I'm
this
pretty sure.
meetup. Oh, the one who gets confused for Sveta all the time.
Yes.
Oh,
thank you.
ribbons. Yeah, ribbons.
Yeah, the ribbon
Oh.
girl.
Oh,
Matryoshka.
Matryoshka.
The Russian nesting dolls.
Ah.
We saw
Yes.
her
Oh, yeah, 'cause
all
she's-
the way back
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, that was forever
Yeah,
ago.
that's an
when
old-
she first got pulled through, and they were in where is it,
The-
in Wisconsin?
Yep.
Madison?
Sure.
I think
Close
it was.
enough.
Yeah.
Because
Sounds
they're
right.
in the
The simmer thing. Yeah,
Yeah, the-
Madison.
right.
Madison. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we see that group of people there, and she's one of them, and she has the ability where she like holds people.
Yes.
She kind of starts to absorb them, so she can like
Yeah.
get some of their memories and a little bit of like power. But if she keeps them in for too long, she like absorbs them.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can keep just unfurling kind of a bag of withholding or bag of
Yeah.
holding.
So
Just
cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like Tattletale's buried all the way down in there.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. You're just like,
that's one way to get around. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Can't track you. 'Cause you're
Yeah,
basically
so
like a
that's a
non-person for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
yeah, pretty neat. And you have all
There's
the
a,
baby heroes and villains around.
I don't know if anyone's. I just had to make it the comparison because Gen V just finished the Boys spinoff, which I have thoughts on. We'll come back to later from comparison points. But there is there is a character in Gen V whose power is he has a black hole in his asshole, and he can he can store people inside of himself and then like
Oh,
pop them out
no.
later.
No.
Yeah, it's great.
No,
So
no, no, no,
I was
no.
it was very similar.
That's not
Essentially,
no.
what happened? here in
Exactly
my
the
mind.
same. Yeah, in
Yeah.
fact.
Wow.
Yep, completely the
That's
same.
funny.
Man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so one
They're
other
great.
thing with this, let me make sure I understand the draining. So what Tattletale says is like the way the draining works is you keep them in proximity to you, you weaken them, and then you sort of shunt their passenger piece into you through a
Yeah.
weakened state, confusing the passenger kind of.
Yeah.
It's an
Something like
interesting
that. Yeah.
but then so what doesn't check out with that for me is that Goddess said a member of her cluster had gotten away, almost making it sound like this person I'd been keeping them alive and using them, but they got away and took their
Mm.
power back, and now I found them again and took care of them. So it's like this that's the one piece that doesn't quite fit together for me, and I think they kind of catch on to that like I don't know if this is entirely accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
We
odd.
also don't forget we haven't gotten the resolution of Snag's right. Snag's interlude when he dies
Mhm.
and has the like the moment in their like shared dream state where
Mhm.
he's still sort of conscious there, or like the sharded version of him
Yeah.
is, and he
Right.
sees the other member of them, or like because it's all cloudy, but he can kind of see at
Right.
that point, but we don't see it, but he does. So like
Yeah.
there's some I have a feeling we're coming back to that at some point in some capacity. So
And
there's
we've had that
yeah.
moment too where Rain sort of like implores for power, and it seems like maybe the passed away member of their cluster gave him a little boost.
Yeah,
So there's kind
exactly.
of a like it's a bit more complicated, I think, than Tattletale is implying. But
Yeah. Yeah.
perhaps that is a method, but not the method Goddess was using, for example, right? It could be
Right.
multiple
Yeah.
methods or something like that.
Yeah. Because we
Um,
talked about that not every cluster, no other cluster, the other clusters don't work like their dream cluster did with the rooms. So
Yeah.
they
Right.
work in different
Right.
ways. But we also talked about how perhaps Goddess literally kept her cluster mates in close physical proximity for a long time, as
Right.
opposed to March's method, which kind of feels like something you could do over the course of like a week, a month type
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
Goddess had her cluster like physically around her for years, and then
Right.
like could maybe start doing the thing where she goes out and operates with that power, because the power is like kind of half asleep and then goes, oh wait, you're not the person that I'm supposed to be following. But because the
Yeah.
cluster
Yeah.
mates, it gets confused all the time. And
Which
you
we
know,
never found out who they were,
the
right?
battery.
She just
Yeah,
says
no.
that she got them back, and then that was that, and we were all like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
and it
okay."
doesn't matter because you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Sucks
Yeah.
to suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Yeah.
Does in fact suck to suck.
Sucks to
But-
drain.
wait, okay, no, Lady in Blue is dead, but that we don't know if her cluster mate's dead.
No, we don't know if the cluster mate is dead. We're saying Lady in Blue is dead. So
Right.
just like,
So
oh.
her cluster mate, who may now have all of her powers, is just running free?
we don't know if she has all of her powers. That is a good point, that she could,
Yeah.
you know,
we don't-
somehow get powers. But
That's something I had not thought about till
more
just
than
now.
likely, if they operate slightly the way that Rain's cluster does, nobody's getting extra powers from one of them being
Sure.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would have
I
to
guess
kill
that's
them,
true.
and like you would have to drain them before you kill them, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay,
which is
all right.
what the
I'll
whole
mentally back burner then.
yeah, which is what the whole
Would-
three way
letting that
standoff
one
Would be
go.
is
interesting.
like.
We do want to come back. I do want to come back to that. Yeah, that cluster mate at some point. Be interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to just leave that hanging because it okay, it's one of those things where like you don't point something out in a book or a movie unless it's important, right? But Welbo does that all the time. He points out things constantly, and you never know if it's gonna come back and it's important or
Yeah.
not. So
Very
like,
true.
I'm just gonna kind of like
Put
Yeah.
it back there with
wait,
everything else.
hold on. I've got the perfect prop for this.
Put a pin in it. Yep.
There
Put
you
a pin
go.
in
There
it.
you go. There you go.
All right.
Tapped it crooked, but it's fine.
I do love the description of like how, I mean, in a grotesque way, how you confuse the shard. Now, like, yeah, just get as close as physically possible to it.
Blood,
know,
skin,
Blood,
hair,
skin, bathe in it, wear it.
organs.
You know,
I will say, like, then this could also fit in really well, though. This theory could fit in really well with the kiss kill theory, right?
Mhm.
Where it's like the
Yeah.
shards want to be close to each other. They're almost
Mhm.
magnetically attracted to each other.
Yeah.
So, how do humans express the desire to be close to one another? Either you want to be with them so badly, you're attracted to them, you lust after them, or you're so like envious of them, you can't help but want to be them and even kill them. Like there's sort of that
Wear
like
their skin as a
extreme.
suit.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
So gross.
yeah. And yeah, it's just weird because we've seen like when the shards have come down. I want to say, I'm trying to remember who was it in my head that was getting attacked in the alleyway, and the shard went to go for the dad, and then it was like, wait a
Oh,
minute, no, was it Shadow Stalker? It was like,
It
wait,
was
I don't want to
it
go.
was
for
the Shadow Stalker
dad.
interlude, I believe. Or
It also
something
kind of
around
had
there.
that moment with Ashley too, I think, maybe.
Well, no, there's
Yeah.
one with where we're following the power, literally the shard coming down, and the
I
shard.
think
I don't remember.
I think this is in the Alien interlude, but one of the
it's
shards
not
comes
Emma,
down.
is it? It's not Emma.
Bernard
No,
says
Bernard said imp, maybe, which might
Yeah,
be
I
true.
think it might have been Amp actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
that actually,
I think
I
that
think you're
tracks,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's
Yeah,
saying-
Bernard's
watching
right.
it comes down because the daughter and the dad are getting mugged, and and it starts to go to the dad, and then it goes no at the last minute and transfers over to the daughter because they were like, it's like, ooh, somebody of this DNA strand. I could go either way, and then it goes to the daughter instead of the father.
Mhm.
So we know that like that the brothers like how that worked out, like the fact that shards do work with DNA, like passing down through families.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Do
That's
we move on?
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we
kind
got
of got us
two
into
more.
10.6.
Yeah, perfect.
But we'll go through 10.6.
Yeah, I want to talk about
real
Chicken
quick,
Little. Is
and
that
then,
6?
Yeah, that's in 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10.6. Tattletale gives Breakthrough a list of targets to hit, including Love Lost. She tells them how cluster mates can drain power, the teams intermingle briefly, and Sveta gets mad at Ashley.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we kind of talked a little bit about the draining power thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Tattletale's like, hey, you should talk to Love Lost, Rain, like, because Cradle's either gonna, like, March is either gonna go for Cradle or for Love Lost, and she's obviously gonna go for Cradle. Like, he's the most logical option. You said no to her, so why would she pick Love Lost over Cradle? So it's kind of this like, yeah, go talk to Cradle, and maybe you guys can work together.
Yeah. And then the next thing is like, who's the easier target? Love Lost, who doesn't have a great team around her, or you, who does, and then he can use her power to come beat up you.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about
Chicken Little and Kenzie. Literally, I just want Kenzie to have friends her age. So
I
much.
know.
So much.
And it's
I appreciate her restraint so much for not asking for contact info, because that's one of her rules, is she's not allowed to get contact info from people. But then is it Sveta who's like, do you guys want to exchange contact
I think
info?
it's Ashley, isn't it?
Oh, I think it
Ashley
is
does,
actually.
yeah.
You're right. She's like, hey, do you guys want to exchange contact info? I'm like, yeah, we should. She's like, yeah, I'd really like that. Like, oh, yay.
Yeah, which I'm
Yay.
surprised Tattletale didn't shoot that down. Just like, no, not with her power. Absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah.
Well, Tattletale was inside of a Russian nesting doll at that time, so
Right.
she didn't get a chance.
Yeah,
to.
she was.
Yeah.
She
Otherwise,
wasn't. She couldn't say
Tattletale
anything.
would have for sure been like, fuck no.
Probably would have shot that down. But yeah,
But
no,
also
Chicken Little, he's like so cute. He's so sweet.
And he's our shard son for Taylor.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. He's our little bird boy.
Little bird boy.
So sweet. Also, he's so grown up. Like, in my head, he's like 8. He's not 8 anymore.
So yeah, he's like what, 12 now?
12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so and Kenzie's
gosh.
11 or 12, I think we said. So
Because I mean, we
I
met
think
them
she's 12.
at the very end of Worm, right? With
yeah, I think he was.
Yeah. And it's
I'll
been 3
look it
years
up
since
to
then.
see how old he
Yeah.
is, but
I
He was
mean,
10 or
yeah,
11
you
around
can
that
ask.
time.
Right, yeah. So he's like, he's basically close to Kenzie's age, like the closest to
Yeah.
Kenzie's age. Like, oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah, Kids need
Also,
friends.
I love that his all the bullet shells come out as tiny birds. It's
Yeah.
really cute.
he's 10 at the start of Ward.
Oh, he's 10, so he's a
Oh,
little
he's
younger.
10?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So he triggered at like
I mean, he triggers
really
it like
young.
I thought it was 8. Apparently, it's 7.
6? 6 or
Taylor
7,
brings him
yeah.
in at 5, and then
Holy
he has his
shit.
moment talking about the whales at
Yeah.
7, and then
Yeah,
Ward's
that's
10.
right. Oh my god.
Aw.
7 years old. Oh my god. Okay, we're not gonna
Crazy.
think about that.
Crazy.
But yeah. Oh, yay. Yay.
Children in trauma. You'll love to see it.
Oh. No. No. Ugh, but no, that's great. Exchanging them, like just chit chatting and exchanging info. I love that. And Chantilly and yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was tough. Because okay, it sounds like part of Chantilly's thing is that she just is like lacy, and you can like see into her basically, like her
Right.
organs and skin, like through her skin.
Sounds like
But she's done her own design to it somehow, because when Ashley's like, oh, I really like your dress, and Sveta has her little like, oh, well, you really shouldn't, like, I know you're trying to be nice, but like you really shouldn't comment because you can't really do anything about it. And Chantilly's like, no, I did design it myself. Like, I don't think I understood how. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
we don't really know much
Yeah.
about what her power is, though, at this point,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Chantilly?
Yeah.
So we
Alan, can you lend some sort of something?
There's not much to be said about her,
Okay.
other than her appearance is generally like she is clearly a case 53, but she's semi-passable.
Hmm.
Almost in
Yeah.
the sense that like Gregor with a hoodie on, or like Weld could probably which a lot of case 53s get really. We talked about this whole thing with a lot of small communities where like if others have an advantage that let them be more passable in society, then like they kind of get pissy towards them because they get
Mhm.
some of the advantages. And Chantilly is one of those people who it didn't feel like Chantilly was showing off, and
No.
Sveta was, Sveta, I get it.
It sucks.
Already, it's been a day. It's been a long
It's been a
day,
day.
starting with the thing and being very aware of their body. And man, sure are just kind of feeling hypersensitive to this. Like, can you believe that bitch showing off her hands? Her human-like hands? What a bitch. And I was
Yeah.
like, Jesus. Like, Sveta, like,
No, because no, I don't think so. Because she wasn't even gonna say anything. She wasn't gonna say anything. And it's Vicky. She sees her. She realizes like, oh, she needs vent, and she like pulls her away, gives her that space to vent. Like,
yeah.
oh, I feel for Sveta because like
Oh, absolutely.
she does so good. She does so much, and then to feel like you do so much and it's not enough. Like, especially this coming off of the conversation about Weld, and like Weld's about to come home. Like, this is all fresh in her mind. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Sveta.
We still need a. I mean, we don't need a Sveta interlude. We've got a lot of her story, but I would love a Sveta interlude just for POV's sake.
Me
I'd love
too.
to get a
Yeah,
chat
it'd be
with
cool.
her.
Also,
Sweet
as Fran puts
thing.
out, everybody should be pissed off at Shamrock. She's a case 52, and all she has is the tattoo and good luck.
Yeah.
It's giving the oh man, what's the movie where they're like, oh, we're all damaged. Oh damn it. Oh, hold on,
It's
come
an
back.
X-Men joke. It's an X-Men joke, right? Where it's like
Is that what it is?
there's a cure for being a mutant, and one of them's like, we don't need a cure. We're perfect the way we are, says the most perfect, beautiful woman with the power to control weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but what if there's a cure for us, says the woman with chainsaw hands.
Yeah. Exactly.
As Beefaroni points out, Shamrock, we forgot, Shamrock did have a horrible mutation because she has red hair. So she's got to live with that.
All right.
And that's
No.
gonna follow her for
That's
the
it.
rest
So
of her life.
really
No.
what we're saying is that
Just Mike.
Gregor is really stooping to her level and like really serving her
married
by
up.
being she married up for
Excuse me.
Oh, Michael, I didn't see you there.
And his red beard just
okay, Michael,
glowing
don't
in
cry.
the lamplight.
Okay, it's not that
Like-
serious, Michael.
Michael, we can find that cure.
For all the audio only
Also, as
listeners,
someone who
Michael
has dyed her hair, as someone who has dyed her hair ginger for many years of her life,
Willingly?
willingly dyed her hair red many times in her life.
Mhm.
Love the ginger
Offense
hair.
taken. Offense taken.
As you should. All right, let's. Do we want to just knock all of these out in one go?
I kind
'Cause
of feel like we can do
like-
7, 8, 9 together. Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I have
I
It's
think
one
we
big
can.
notes,
Yeah, let's
and
do
they're
it.
both
It's a lot.
minor.
All right.
Read up.
10
Yeah,
points.
I don't really have notes.
Breakthrough surveils Love Lost's group. Communicate with Citrine for confirmation. And the anti-parahuman citizens meet with Love Lost. 10.8. Love Lost's group notices Breakthrough, so the team retreats. Antares, Tress, and Precipice fight Love Lost's Tinker, and the team destroys guns that the anti-parahuman people were selling. 10.9. Breakthrough tracks down the remains of Kinsey's camera, questions Sidepiece and Disjoint with Advance Guard, and releases them to misdirect Love Lost about Cradle. And all I have to say is that the show they're watching, which is actually The Surveillance, Blood Atoll, it's just One Piece, right? Like that's just the vibe I got. It's just One Piece.
Yeah,
They're just watching
Kind
One
of.
Piece, but it's not One Piece.
Rotoscoped
Yeah,
one.
This is so funny. Yeah, I really
Yeah,
didn't have much for these. Honestly, they were weirdly for the action scenes felt very bland. I don't know why exactly. Um, I think the Tinker's power is cool. The Tinker's power is really
Yeah.
cool. Like that was
That's fun.
dope. Lightning Tinker equipment to turn yourself into lightning. Like
Your
that's nice.
state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I will say this is the first fight that I have not completely glazed over for. Perhaps that's how short it
Yeah.
is. Because we
Mhm.
almost got there at the end where I'm like ripping up the stuff out of the ground and I'm like, I could feel my eyes just like doing the glaze, and then
Yeah.
we finished. But
Because the
most
fight's
of
like half
yeah,
of 10.8. So
yeah,
it's not even that
Yeah,
much
it's not even a
of a
full.
chapter.
yeah, which is, you know, a good amount of time for me. I feel like that is an appropriate amount. Once again, not my favorite fight, but one of the easiest to read that we've had so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it felt very, very A to B, right? Where it's like Tinker wants to get from point A to point B. We need
Yes.
to stop him. It's very clear, like what everybody's objectives are. So I think
Yeah.
that does help with
It
clarity
really
in a
does
fight.
help.
Whereas,
Can't
like
let
in
him get
other
across
fight
the finish
scenes, it's
line.
like a lot of bad guys, a lot of good guys. They're all mixed in together. They're all fighting each other. It's chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. Beefaroni, these two chapters have some interesting scenes. Victoria telling Kenzie, do what you can, and Rain saying, you can't enhance. Like, guys, these are the two worst things you could say to Kenzie.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, work on it till it gets done is probably gotta be the worst thing you could tell Kenzie. Good God,
Yeah,
Bunty.
for real.
Is
Was that
your
the piano?
Yes, that was
I
Bunty
think that
getting
was
chased
Bunty
by
jumping on
Beckford
my
up the
piano.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
I do find it interesting. The one interesting bit here for me in 10.7 at least was the fact that they're communicating with Citrine and they're like, "Hey, what do we think about
Yeah.
this?" And she's like, "Yeah, good to go. Go for it." So it's this weird, they mentioned the tension of like, "We know who you are, but
Yeah.
you're the governing authority right now, so we're going to ask you for permission, but like it's this weird push-pull thing that I do like that building tension there.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Side piece is funny. I do think side
Ugh.
piece is funny.
Is side piece funny?
No.
In the sense of
No.
like
It got old a little quick.
it did get old a bit
I
quick.
was listening to the
but
the audio. The fuck you, fuck this, fuck the. Okay, I'm done. Listen, that's
Yeah.
my first favorite F word. Okay, look, I get it. I use that word a fucking lot. It was too much. Oh my god.
Maybe
Grow
reading
your
it was funnier than
vocabulary.
hearing it spoken out loud, but it was
I could believe that.
Probably.
to me
Yeah.
it is funny more in the sense of like the person just like in what it kind of reminded me of in Home Alone where the robbers keep saying like they're muttering under their breath but they say no real cuss words. It's like almost that vibe. It's like it's like that's just what I imagine side piece doing half the time. And that is amusing to me.
Yeah.
There was a quote though where she's like
Yeah.
she makes fun of Shortcut's costume. And he says, "Well, this costume is focus group tested, moron,"
Yeah.
Shortcut said. And she replies, "So were the Jeep, Rockabye, the Round Phone, and the second Iron Giant movie. So good for you. You're in shit company."
Oh my god.
I was just like,
That's a great.
I'm
good.
sorry, the second Iron Giant movie?
There we go. I was wondering when somebody was going to bring it
I'm
up.
sorry. The what? The Round Phone? And I'm like thinking about what the Jeep Rockabye would be, and I'm thinking of like it's like a cradle, but it's in the shape of a Jeep or something. It's like the Jeep Rockabye.
Yep.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, but you know how many parents would actually do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Jeep
yeah.
owners, like they'd get tiny ducks put on
Yeah.
the windshield
I mean,
of their tiny
but yeah.
Jeep.
Do you
I
think the
just
round
love
phone
the
was like a
wild boat.
puck? Was it like a puck shaped or like a sphere? Like a
Ooh.
whole.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Because okay, so
yeah.
they have
They-
like the circle system, right? Kind of on their
the
phones.
rotary.
The OS.
The
Rotary,
It's
right?
sort of like a rotary thing. So I do imagine it could be like a puck.
Like a
It's-
rotary puck.
It's just a
Like a rotary
Pokeball, bro.
puck.
It's just a
Yeah.
Pokeball.
It's just a
Yeah.
Pokeball, maybe.
Just a Pokeball.
Yeah.
Have you guys
rough.
seen the phones? So back when like landlines and all the kids had a landline in their room, but they had like the cool fun themed ones. There was one that was like a burger, but it was like a round,
Yeah.
round, and it would
Yes.
like pop. So it was a puck. It was just like there were parts of it.
Right.
I don't know if it like went like this or if it just like came off the top.
It opened up.
Then you spoke. I don't actually know how it worked. I wasn't
opened
cool
up.
enough to have a phone.
Yeah.
But
On one hand, side piece. I hate side piece's vibe of just being trashy.
Yeah.
On the other
I don't
hand,
like it.
there are some bangers in there. One of
Yeah,
which
she
is
gets a
just
few good lines
simply
in.
calling good old Lisa Brattletail. It's a new
Yep.
one.
That's a good one.
Love it.
That's pretty good.
That's fair.
pretty good.
That's fair.
Also, don't know where I fall on this, but her bothering Disjoint earlier, being like, "Come on, you don't need it. You're not using it now. I could use it. Just pop it off. Just let me have it." And he's like, "No,
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
misplace it. You lose everything. It's what you do." Like, no. And it's like, yeah, and it's gonna blow me up if you do that. Like, if you do anything wrong. So I either lose it or fucking get it blown up. Not doing either. Like, no.
Well, and that's
Oh,
more what
boy.
I mean. Not so much that when she's intentionally trying to be funny, it's not that funny. It's more just like she's funny by accident, stuff like that. Like you're gonna
Oh, yeah.
misplace it. She's like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
when she's
not.
just saying "fuck you" and being like, I don't
Yeah.
know, like I said, just trashy in general, very annoying,
Belligerent?
but belligerent. Speaking of getting
It's not a
belligerent,
fantastic power.
as Wonderland gets a third bingo and asks Summer
Jesus.
Bingo, "Are we getting blackout tonight?"
Hey,
Man, we are pretty close, and it looks like we've got two. Is that two more bingos? Kenzie made a friend. Cluster theories, poor Sveta and cat on screen, and then Kenzie made a friend.
Okay.
Someone recognizes Matryoshka. Is side piece funny or annoying? And then Chris theories.
Let's Yeah. go.
yep.
That's accurate.
No,
That's pretty spot on bingo.
I know that it's just things that she says, right? Where she's like, Victoria's like, she's dealing with the anti-parahuman group. How does that make sense? And Side Piece just goes, pretty sketchy. I wasn't about that. Stayed home, diddled my boyfriend. And Capricorn's like, don't stay diddled. Like, it's just stuff like that where I'm like, I hate her vibe, but just unintentionally is funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do think probably reading her would have been a lot funnier just because it's like she's just got like this
You
side
can make
this,
up
like,
your own voice for
talking
her.
mouth, like she's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, she, as opposed to listening to it, you're like, ugh. I will say I did tune out this chapter a little bit just because I didn't want to hear her talk anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to get through. And again, it kind of, unfortunately, just with the way we're having to break things up, it just doesn't end very memorably, and there's still a lot
Oh,
on the table. So it's
I
not a lot
yeah.
to cling to in my mind. I'm like, how did it end?
Yeah. It does mean we get to open with an interlude though.
We do.
For the second half,
Next,
which I'm
next
excited
time
about.
will be
There will be
lit.
3 interludes within the
Ooh.
next time's reading. So,
Yahoo!
Making up for lost
Ready.
time.
right?
I mean, you read 15
All
hours
right,
of
Let's
it,
go!
right? So,
Let's see. Anything else we really want to talk about here? I feel like
And I feel like we hit all the stuff I wanted to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
Front loaded this this episode.
All right. Well, let's do real quick. Favorite powers.
We had a few here.
Had a
I
few.
had a
We
few.
really did.
Unnamed Tinker power kind of goes hard. Like the
Electric Boy.
Power. Yeah.
Yeah.
the bracelets that put you into a breaker state to be electrical and just jumping between points using that power. I'm like, that's like, I mean, we don't even know what else he can do, but just that application of his power and it being a Tinker power, meaning it might be transferable. It's got other things he can do with it. Like, pretty cool, pretty simple, but I liked it. It reminded me of what is it? Not Static Shock, but I feel like there's a villain like that.
It's in the
something.
Superman animated series.
Yeah,
Not
who
Killer
like
Shock,
can turn
but
into lightning or something.
she was
yeah,
the DJ. She's like the third of her name when it comes to the villains in the DC
Something like
universe. But yeah, she was a DJ who gets struck by lightning on a rainy day while doing a big concert thing and gets turned into living lightning.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. That was strange.
To answer your question, Hannah, yes, I did.
For me, it's going to be our boy, our new speedster boy with the wacky look.
Whippersnap.
Whippersnap.
Yeah.
What a great
Whippersnap.
what a great Look, what a great intro to his powers.
Oh, is it
that he-
Powerline? It's not Powerline, is it?
I like that he does everything quickly, not just like the thing you'd
Yeah.
expect him to do. Just like
Yeah.
everything. His high five is at, speed of sound. It's just he only operates at that speed.
Yeah, I love
Livewire. Livewire was the name of
There you go.
the Tinker?
villain. No, the villain
Or-
who in
oh.
Superman 1
Yeah.
who becomes living lightning and bops around and shocks people.
Yeah. That's
I thought that
right,
was
that's
the
right.
music sharing platform.
That would be
That's
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
It's LimeWire.
I know, motherfuckers.
God, get
Hannah was trying to
mansplained.
tell a joke.
Get mansplained, Hannah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Goddamn. I'll just go.
No.
I'll just
Hannah,
go, it's fine.
mansplaining is when a man explains
No.
something.
Come back.
Motherfucker. I will suffocate
my
you in your
God.
sleep.
Bernard asks, who do you guys think the next interlude's about? If we want to guess.
Oh, I
Ooh,
hope it's someone
interlude
from the
guesses.
Undersiders. I would love for it to be an Undersider.
Hmm.
I think that would be really fun.
Yeah,
would be
give me
really
a
fun.
Chicken Little interlude.
Oh, hell
Give
yeah.
me a chicken.
A
Fuck,
little
yes,
Chicken
give me
Little
a chicken
interlude.
little.
A little Chicken Little. Little
He's
fried
just
chicken
like
little.
building snowmen with the other kids, and then all of a sudden, like, Im's getting her arm blown off, and Tattletale's getting shot in the ass. Like, yeah.
I have a feeling
March.
we're nearing the Chris interlude, so that's my logical guess. But I do hope if it's not Chris, that it's something to do with the bigger picture kind of going on here. So
Oh, that
yeah,
would be
yeah.
nice.
Speaking of which,
More than likely, I'd like a Weld interlude or something, right? See
yeah,
what he's
that'd be
doing.
great. That'd be great.
Yes, he's coming home.
what
Yeah.
are your thoughts on any more theories since we're in that area? Theories on
I do think Rain's gonna die. I just, for some reason, this half of the
Oh.
arc ups my, like, if we're thinking about who in Breakthrough would die, I think the odds of Rain and Chris both dying have increased dramatically over the course of this arc.
So
For opposite reasons, though.
I think you're right, but I will push back only because it also feels like the kind of thing where Wild Bow would take the obvious choice and not do it. So
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
maybe he's slated to die, and Tristan jumps in front of the bullet or whatever it is, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, exactly.
something
Yeah.
like that. But I do agree that of the group, he's the most tropiest to die at this point.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
in the most ready to die, honestly.
You know what?
Oh.
He's
the
like, I'll
thing,
never
he
get
needs to,
with
like,
Aaron.
have a
I guess
date.
I'll just.
I was gonna say, no. He needs to, like, have. Here's what's gonna happen. Actually, no, it's not what's gonna happen. But, like, if this were any other Hollywood movie, he would be, like, about to go on his date with Aaron. Then Lev Loss catches up with him and absolutely slaughters him.
And then she's left thinking that he stood her up. She's at the restaurant waiting for him.
Exactly. She's like waiting and
that's
she's
the
waiting. And
Hollywood
she's not
thing, yeah.
sure.
And then she
That's
just
the last we
leaves.
see of Aaron. Yeah.
Yep.
I hate that. No.
No,
I'm really hoping.
We'll run away
I agree with
together.
you
We'll get
about
away,
Rain,
put all
but
this
I hope
superhero,
that doesn't
supervillain
happen.
stuff behind us. We'll go to a cabin in the woods. I've got some friends, Cozen and Gru.
I
They
just
told
gotta
me
do.
about this
I just
place.
gotta do one last thing.
I
Just
gotta do
take
one
care of one
last
last
thing.
thing.
Gotta take care of
I gotta
one.
sign my retirement paperwork. Don't you worry. I'll be there.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
won't. No, you won't.
Exactly.
No, you won't.
Yeah, last questions. We pretty locked in. Problematic member is Chris, or do we have we?
See, I'm
still
still-
think
I'm
we're
still-
due. I think we're due a Vicky explosion at some point, but the Chris stock is climbing pretty quickly.
See, I just want to keep
I'm-
riding the Vicky train because I'm, like, committed to the bit now. So
Yeah. No, you kind of have to. I understand.
I'm too far in to say it's not her, so I'm gonna keep saying it's her.
Fair.
It's Chris. I'm doubling down. I mean, I've said it's one of the children for, I think, since from the beginning. I feel like I've said it's
Yeah.
one of the
Oh,
babies.
sorry.
And
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'm
I have a thought.
I'm still not convinced that, like, Kenzie isn't an absolute trauma train and will cause immeasurable damage and irreparable damage quite soon, inevitably at some point. But especially with the new info we have here with the whole Ashley thing saying, like, I love that idea of Chris being like so much more of a bigger problem than anyone ever thought he was. And somehow Miss Yamada fucking knew. She fucking knew the truth and like wasn't able to say it because she's like, well, it's not my place to say. And she somehow knew.
Yeah.
Like the Simmerg thing could totally be a real thing. Like I am Chris all the way.
Client
Mm.
therapist
The goalpost.
privilege, she can't share.
And
piece
you
of
did just say
confidentiality.
you did just say my thought, which is that the other interlude I would accept is Yamada. Obviously, if we get a Yamada interview, it'd be
Oh my
fantastic.
god, I would love that. She's like out with her vegetables
He's gardening
and
in a
hanging
in
out
a
with Valkyrie.
random
Yeah,
world.
maybe
Love that.
good for her.
Bless.
This is one of the look. You
Yeah.
can't save everybody. You
Yep.
need a vacation.
You
And
need to garden your vegetables.
and Colin was like, take it from me as somebody who's a serial overworker. You're gonna kill yourself and you don't have cybernetic implants to help you not sleep. So we're not going to take you back. If you want to walk back, it'll be a journey. Until
Right.
then, you're required to live here for a week.
We've
And
seen
she's
how
like,
much
"You know what?
takeout you've eaten. You need some vegetables.
They did. They stopped by her apartment one time and were like, good God, I couldn't even get to the bed because of the pizza boxes. Like, Yamada, like, I know your job is helping
Eat
people
a
get their shit
carrot.
together, but like, drink water, get some sun, eat a
Bless,
carrot.
that's
To a
my kind
farm.
of therapist, let me tell you.
Yeah. They took her to
My
a farm
kinda
upstate. And... Ah,
That's terrible.
yeah. This is the
Oh,
only way to
God.
get Yamada to do for
care of
herself
herself.
what she tells everybody else to do.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. I love it.
All right,
She's
well-
earned her vacation.
Right. Some cleanup
Beefaroni.
stuff.
Fran asked, what do you think Amy and Chris are doing? And Beefaroni said, not talking about their problems.
Oh no. All they're doing is discussing how their problems are not their fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know how Victoria is. Like, she always wants to be in control. And Chris is like, oh my God, does she?
Yeah,
like, they're
tell
just
me about it.
egging each
God
other on.
damn.
The
No, I don't want to
worst.
think that. I still like Chris. Fuck Amy. Chris, listen, Chris is redeeming himself by not being subservient to Amy. Like, that is what it is.
That's
like,
fair.
if he
That
was
is
just
fair.
like, yeah, I'll follow Amy. Like, I've been like,
Bitch,
"You're
you touch
catching the
me?
sun." But
I
he
will
was
kill
like,
you.
but he's
What if
like,
this-
he's like, no, I'm big boss. I'm big man on campus. Amy's like, yes, sir. I'm like,
Okay,
Oh, boy.
hear me out. What if remember the scene in Fugly Bob's back in Worm where Alec is like,
how could we
listen,
forget?
listen, Taylor, what? Let's just torture your bullies. Like, what are we doing? Come on. What if Chris was just
Chris is
like,
playing the long game.
Victoria doesn't have it in her. I gotta take care of Amy here.
I'll do it. I'll do
Oh
it.
my
My
god.
man.
Totally
I'll dap him up. I
Yeah.
dap him up if that's the case.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Oh my
Good
god.
creepy
come,
crow
all is
number 6
forgiven,
banana creature.
All is forgiven. Just bring it in. Bring it in, Chris. No
That's
hug? Okay,
hilarious.
that's cool. That's cool. Kenzie's still gonna hug you for that one.
He's not
She's not
supposed to.
supposed to, but
But-
your mind, my mind.
Hey, we are mind meld. Okay.
So a little cleanup. We're going in 2 weeks. Michael, tell
Mm-hmm.
us what date that is because he's smart. But in 2 weeks, we will be reading Worm starting at the Ward starting at the interlude, which I believe is 10.X to the end, which will be 10.Z. This should be the back 50,000 and change. Like I said, 3 interludes.
11th.
The 11th of November.
Damn.
Woo.
All right.
We'll be
Well, good
fresh
old
back from the
11-11.
Ren Fair.
Freaking year ago.
True.
About a year ago. And let's see, other cleanup things. We were discussing in the Patreon chat about testing out feats of strength to show what our D&D attribute would be for that. I could not find a log that was 200 pounds in my backyard. They're all about 75 pounds. So I will work on getting one for that for next time, but it's been rained out, so couldn't. So I haven't been outside with the logs. Other things. Oh, our full thing. Here's what we got from the bingo. We got Somebody Notices the Second Iron Giant movie. We got Cluster Theories, Cat on Screen, Recognizing Matryoshka, Shopping Spree, TT Hype, Chris Theories, Side Piece, Funny, Annoying, Debate, Should Rain Make a Move debate. poor Sveta. Kenzie made a friend. Gregor got married. And fuck Carol. The 3 that we didn't get were milk, fuck shortcut, because we forgot to say that, and Hannah spills something.
Oh.
Wow. That is
Nice.
so mean.
But imagine if they
Damn.
got it.
Right. Now I sadly, because I spent so late doing this, and it was said from Waldo, man, just wait until Hannah spills some milk and swears at shortcut. That's how we could have brought on all this in.
Oh, so close.
If only.
From Not So Certain, some suggestions that I, of course, was too lazy to put in. I'm so sorry, Not So Certain. Sveta wins GOAT award for telling Carol off. Very true. Theory about the clusters being a major threat to the ward as a whole. Proper nouns are mispronounced. They are, but by Wildbow. Sveta is the problem Yamada wanted watched. Theory. Okay, but Chris is coming back, right? Which, we are theorizing.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah,
somebody
he's not gone.
completely fails to understand Blood Atoll and what's going on, and these chapters were boring. Which, I disagree. I really love these chapters.
you
These
guys-
No,
were
I didn't
really
think they
easy
were
for me to
boring.
read.
I
Like
didn't
not in
think
like
they
a
were boring.
difficulty of word sense, but just in like a digestibility sense. Really thought these were easy to go through. And as Fran pointed out, there's a reminder that there was a Redditor who figured out months before anything about Chris's backstory that they figured
Whoa.
it out.
Impressive.
So
Yeah.
do we all need to write down our theories? I guess this is our log. This is our
This is
log
our
of
this is
theories
our
every week.
log. Yeah. We'll just keep doing that
So we
until
can
we
go
get
back
to it.
and see who was the
Yeah.
most right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But that all being said, thank you so much for chat. You're always helpful and helping us figure
time.
out
You guys
so
were
many
great
things.
today. So
Keeping
funny.
us in
Loved
check.
it.
We really appreciate it. On your A game with the comedy. Keep that up. And we really appreciate that. If you want to interact with us outside of this, we of course have the Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can subscribe to that. We really like to hear from you and get more interactions with there. I know I've been a little bit lazy on that, but I'll try more.
We've got some good Patreon content in the archive. So if you're a new Patreon person, we have some old stuff that's great, and we've got some new stuff that we're planning too. So we might be slow on the delivery, but it is in the works.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're just
we also
reading
have lives,
50,000
so,
words and
Yeah.
other things. So, but we do our best. We do our best.
Yeah.
Yes. 'Cause we love you
Okay.
guys.
Song? Anyone want to hear
Oh
one?
my
hit it.
gosh.
Is it song time?
Did you say a new
Song?
one?
Join the Patreon, please come on and join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come support us and join the Patreon. Please help us and join the Patreon. We have fun, join the Patreon. It's great, yeah, join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come on, come on.
Consider signing up for our Patreon. It would be my pleasure to have you.
Oh my gosh, I love that one. I forgot
Love
about
it.
that one. See you guys on the 11th. We appreciate you so much.